Whoa.
What's going
There we
on?
go. Yo, I literally, when it said you were sending me the request, I literally was messaging you from the laptop, and I was about to say, yo, maybe it's because we both keep trying to send it at the same time. I don't.
Maybe.
Everything we know now, people.
Okay.
Everything. And my camera looks like shit, man. I got a different phone. The shit looks all blurry. Does it look blurry?
Yeah, looks like you're in a sauna, bro.
It's Stone, like I was watching The Walking Dead last week or so, and like I'm thinking like the Stone Age doesn't sound too bad right now. Like how I've been dealing with these electronics and shit, these phones, these laptops, these TVs. This shit is just it's just getting to be too much. Too much.
Man, that sucks, bro.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about this fucking lens, man. This lens is just trash.
What kind of phone do you have? Or what kind of phone is it?
It's a temporary Android shit, man. I wasn't about to get like a fucking the iPhone 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-18. Like I wasn't trying to do all that shit, man. Look, when I get another phone, as long as I can dial out and receive calls and texts and do all my basic shit and do the podcast shit and promote it, I'm fine. Like that's it. I don't need my phone to transform into a fucking like a unicycle, all the fancy shit that these phones do now. I don't need all that, man. I'm stressed out enough over here. I was having a good time though. Like over here,
yeah.
While I was waiting for me to set up, I was watching. It's a good segue into some shit I need your opinion on too, bro. Like very, very early on, I want us to get this shit out the way. And
Let's go. Let's waste no time. What do we got? All
right, listen. And it's not really anything all crazy. It's just I'm curious. So while I was waiting, counting down before we got started, I threw on Aquaman, the first Aquaman. Yeah. Not everybody's favorite DC movie. I happen to like it. It's probably DC's most beautiful looking movie, but like I feel like even with the problems this movie and the DCU has, I feel like James Gunn can sleep easy tonight knowing that he cleaned all of this shit up. He's got a clean slate. Ain't no drama. Like Marvel, is it a good day to be a Marvel fan out there? Because they are.
They're going through some shit right now, man. Like they're going through some shit. The director for Secret Wars just stepped away.
Yep. Yo!
Why? There's no reason.
Gamer Harold.
He just left.
Yep.
Just left.
Yo, I'm telling you, it is. I was surprised, man, and not like I was trying to be a hater or anything, but I was like, is this happening? Like, I haven't seen Marvel in shambles in decades. Like, they pretty much had their shit together, man. Like, but then, I don't know. At least even back then, they had some type of consistency. They had the Blade movies, the X-Men movies. They had 2 Fantastic Four movies. But now, I'm looking at all these release dates getting bumped up. They just announced that Pedro Pascal is going to be Reed Richards.
Allegedly. It's not been confirmed. They're made an offer. He hasn't accepted. But Pedro Pascal has stepped away from The Mandalorian 4, for Mandalorian Season 4, because he's doing Season 2 of The Last of Us. So he will not be in The Mandalorian 4. He still will be voicing Din Djarin, but he will not be physically in The Mandalorian anymore.
I feel like if him being Reed Richards means that he won't do The Last of Us another season of that bullshit, then I'm all for him being Reed Richards. I changed my mind about that.
Right.
I changed my mind.
That's right. You didn't like The Last of Us. That's right. I totally forgot about that shit.
I waited. I gave it 3 episodes, and after the 3rd episode, I was like, I don't know, this ain't really what I was expecting to get into. Then I did sneak back and watch episode 4, and I'm just like, I don't care. Like the chick that they were rocking with that ended up, I think she ended up dying. She was a great character. Pedro Pascal isn't a bad character, but that girl that's tagging along, she's terrible. I want her to get eaten, or I don't know if they eat you or turn you, whatever it is. I know Marvel. I won't turn it into a The Last of Us bashing session, but I know Marvel is. They don't have a clue what's going on right now. And insult to injury for some people, they just dropped the Madam Web trailer. I was like, okay, I don't know what the fuck this is. It doesn't look terrible, but you can see why that director, she's done a whole bunch of TV shows. It looks like it should be like streaming to Netflix or...
I just uploaded my reaction to the Madam Web trailer just now. So I was like, yeah. I was like, this doesn't look too bad. But I'm like, at the end of it, I was like, wait, where does this take place? In the Sonyverse, the Venomverse, the Spider-Verse? Like, which verse is this? Which universe is this?
They don't know. They don't know shit. And honestly, I don't hate Sony. Like, it's a lot of people that automatically, because it's Sony, they automatically are going to be like, oh, well, fuck that. You Marvel slaves out there, y'all need to bite y'all tongues, man. Appreciate what Sony is doing for y'all. Because Sony, at least, you got Madam Web to look forward to. You got Kraven the Hunter's coming out. I'll be forgetting about Kraven the Hunter. That shit looks pretty good, man. But Marvel, the MCU, y'all just count your blessings with that, man.
Yeah, the Marvels did not do them any favors. Marvels is actually Marvel's first financial loss in over 15 years.
You saw it? Did you see the Marvels?
I didn't see the Marvels. I do want to go see it, but there are 3 other movies that I want to see ahead of that, so that's going to have to wait.
I didn't, like, I wanted to do good because it looks better than the first one. That's a low bar, but somebody already spoiled the post-credits scene online. So I saw that. Yeah. I seen that shit. It's like, I think it was 2 post-credits. It was either the ending and then a post-credit, mid-credit, some shit. I don't remember.
If we're talking about a certain team, then yeah.
I saw that and I was like, eh. But the one where there's somebody in the room helping with the testing, there's a really, really important character that's in this room with 2 of the characters. And that one character lets everybody know that something is on the way for the MCU. Something big is on the way for the MCU. And it was a good reveal, but I hope it goes somewhere because they'll give you a post-credit scene. I mean, the MCU doesn't really do that. The post-credit scenes usually pan out, but this was a big one. This was a major one, and like I think there's a lot of people that's ready for it, but it's like who else do you bring in after that? But they spoiled that shit online, so I'm like, if I see it, I'll review it. But other than that,
I can wait for it to come out on Disney Plus in December. So,
damn, you say shit just came out this month? That shit gonna be on Disney Plus next month?
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas!
That Yo, that shit did that bad at the box office?
Did that bad?
Whew.
Bad?
Oof, that's bad. Like, your shit come out on Disney Plus the next month. That's how you know you fucked up. That's when everybody's getting that group text message like, listen, everybody's a mandatory meeting at Kevin Feige's office tomorrow morning.
Say, look, man,
at 9:59.
Our losses. This shit's going to Disney Plus for Christmas. All right, that's how we're gonna get subscribers.
I'm telling you, man, Kevin Feige's over there stressed. This is one of the reasons why. And again, I'm not hating on Marvel, bro. I'm not. But there's one of the reasons why you have to stay humble. Marvel thought after that first couple phases, however you count them, that the whole from Iron Man leading up to Endgame, they were like, oh, they love us. We could just throw whatever the fuck we want out there on some bullshit. Yeah, on some bullshit. And I think they let the Guardians of the Galaxy shit kind of like put steam up their ass, because Guardians of the Galaxy, they turned that into a household name and nobody really knew who the fuck they were. They weren't really a super popular property, so I guess they figured they could do that with all these other characters, just throw them out there and you got teen TV shows. Nah, bruh.
Like Loki, I will say Loki, fucking great. Season 2 is awesome. Season 2 is awesome. There's there's a really great character arc for Loki, and it's earned, and it's executed very properly. And I'm like, yes, and every episode mattered. Every episode mattered in season 2, and I really I really did. But the problem is that when you give them like good shit, a lot of the people that are already like fed up with all the bullshit, they're not going to give Loki a chance or Echo a chance. You know what I mean? They're not going to want to do that.
That's another one. I didn't know anything about Echo either, and I was like, is this Marvel or is this DC? And if this Marvel, are they going like TVMA rated R with this? Because it looks pretty.
It's been confirmed that it is the first TVMA.
Ooh. That caught my attention. I don't give a shit. Maybe I'm a little biased with the rated R TVMA shit, but I saw that's Kingpin, right? Vincent D'Onofrio
and Daredevil.
I did not see Daredevil when I first saw the trailer. I saw it when I watched it the second time. I don't know. I must have just missed it. But I saw Kingpin.
I didn't see him either. But he is confirmed to be in the episode, and that series is supposed to lead up to Daredevil Born Again. So it's supposed to be a prequel to Daredevil.
No, he's in there. Somebody freeze framed it, and I think he's like tumbling over. Somebody hit him with something, or he got knocked over. But it's like a quick shot of him. I didn't even see the shit in the trailer. Somebody said he's in there with the same suit he had from, I think it was She-Hulk. He was in there with was it a yellow and yellow suit or some shit like that. That was a weird. I never knew him to have, like, I wasn't really a Daredevil comic book fan, but that suit, I was like, this is fucking weird. Like, who is he? Is he fucking, like Toad or something like that? Like, he looked like one of the X-Men, like one of the comic book movie X-Men.
Yeah. He did rock a yellow suit for a while, but the yellow suit in the comic book form actually looked better than it did in, real life. Unfortunate. So,
Marvel, man, they are going through it, man. I'm not happy to see it, but you know what? That's good to see Marvel in this fucking bullshit for once, because for years it was DC, and now all the DC fans can sit back and know we got, some new shit on the way, some unfamiliar shit, because I don't know what the what is it, Battle Creatures or Battle Toads? What the hell is James Gunn got coming out with? He's got like a Creature Commandos.
It's like a monster thing. Yeah, with Frank Grillo.
Yeah, Creature Commandos is coming out, and it's a Wonder Woman spinoff. I'm like, cool, but I'm just waiting on Brave and the Bold, Swamp Thing, and I'm kind of looking forward to this new because the new Superman, James Gunn is sitting back like, oh, Marvel's in trouble. Well, my Superman movie's still coming out. Like he said, it's still coming out. Ain't no pushbacks, no none of that shit. I think he said July 11th. His shit's coming out. 2025. That's fine. I can wait because I like the guy looks like Superman, but can he pull it off? Like, it's good casting, but I don't know if he can pull it off. But I can wait for Superman. I can wait on all that shit.
Looks like Amanda Waller's still going to be a part of the DC universe. So is Peacemaker.
I forgot all about her.
And so is the Blue Beetle. He's going to be part of it also. Which I still need to see.
Oh, you didn't see Blue Beetle yet?
I haven't seen it yet. No.
I feel like it's an okay movie. If it's got one thing going for it, like all Fast and Furious jokes aside, it's got family. The family theme is strong, and it plays a big part in the story. I feel like your Spanish side is definitely going to rejoice, like on the inside, like because they're no bullshit, bro. Their representation. I'm so glad they got their superhero. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's a Spanish lead. It's a Spanish director. It's a predominantly Spanish film. They speak Spanish in there. George Lopez. He can kind of be like cookie cutter. He's like the uncle where I don't trust the government and everybody's out to get you. There's little cameras inside of your ass that they install while you sleep type. Like, he's that uncle, and it's like it gets old after a while, but everybody gets something to do. All his family members get some shit to do. I don't know. It kind of takes away from his origin story, but it's solid enough. They just got to go hard as fuck in part 2. They have to go hard as shit. Oh, and the villain's trash. Susan Sarandon, not Carapax, but Susan Sarandon, garbage. She's trash. She's absolutely terrible in there. Like she's about as excited as Linda Hamilton was in Dark Fate. Like that's her level of excitement. She's the ooh, well, I want what you have. Let me have it type of thing. He said, "Damn, yeah, for real." Because Susan Sarandon, they recasted somebody and put her on deck for it, and I was like, for real, like her. She looks like it's a typical villain, like that, and they made her out to be the typical villain. She just had Carapax as her muscle, pretty much. It was alright though. It was an alright origin story.
I think it's on HBO Max, so I'm definitely gonna try to give it a watch over the Thanksgiving weekend. So that's definitely gonna be on my that's definitely on that the watch list. And I gotta catch up on some movies too. I gotta catch up on Barbie.
Me too, man. I don't know. It's crazy. Isn't it crazy in 2023 we grown ass men and we saying that shit?
Yeah.
But
I want to see Barbie. I heard that was like the funniest shit ever. So I want to see what Greta Gerwig could do. You know what I mean? So
a lot of good feedback I heard were from grown ass men. A lot of the good reviews were from grown ass men. Like, yo, this is actually way funnier than I expected. And I was like, bet. If they, if that's a good sign. So I'm on board with that shit.
Yeah. So Barbie, Blue Beetle. Oh, there's another one out there that I missed earlier this year.
Indiana Jones and the dollar. Did we talk about the dollar?
I ain't watching that bullshit. I ain't watching that. You couldn't pay me to watch that shit. Nah, I'm good.
I watched it the other night, bro. I'm saving it for January because I have to, like, in 1 week in January, I have to catch up and do commentary for fucking Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning, Equalizer 3, and then that Friday I'll just cap the weekend off with Indy. But bro, I'm telling you now, man.
I would start with Indy and then end with Equalizer 3. At least you'll end on a high note.
To get it out of the way and end on a positive note, you're right. You're right, man. Because it's not sad. By the time you get to it, it's not sad when it's over, like, oh my God, that's the last Indiana Jones movie we'll ever see. It's sad like that's the last
Indiana Jones movie we'll ever see.
Real shit though. Yo, I promise you, man. You already know what I was about to say, man. Like it's just so disappointing, man. James Mangold, if you do anything like you did with that movie with Swamp Thing, I'm gonna be so fucking pissed off, man. I'm gonna be so fucking pissed. I can't deal with that.
Based on interviews that I heard, James Mangold said that he wanted to bring it back to Raiders of the Lost Ark and kind of make his own Raiders movie. And the more I thought about it, I'm like, just make your own Indiana Jones movie. Like, don't worry about recapturing Raiders of the Lost Ark. I mean, yeah, that is a flawless movie, but nothing will ever be Raiders. Nothing will ever be Raiders. Nothing will ever be Temple. Nothing will ever be Last Crusade or Kingdom
or even Crystal Skull for that matter. Yeah, and that was like people that talk so much shit about Crystal Skull. Y'all need to go back and apologize to that fucking movie, man, because it's way more entertaining than Dial of Destiny. I promise y'all. And that whole Indiana Jones and his goddaughter shit, it's almost like non-existent. Like it's just not there. Like she's just there to be. She's almost like a fucking teenager, like a rebellious teenager. She don't want to listen to him, and he's pulling at her coattail every 5 seconds.
You know what it is? Like they wanted to do Mud without Shia LaBeouf, but they couldn't.
Just did that.
They couldn't ignore it. You know what I mean? Like they couldn't ignore it because they set it up for him to take up the mantle. They didn't set it up for anyone else.
And then they got a fake-ass Short Round. I ain't even going to spoil that for you, but fake-ass Short Round is in here. I'm like, where the fuck is this kid? The kid knows how to fly planes and drive cars and shit. I'm like, fuck this kid, man. I don't care if he dies or not. Like, and Boyd Holbrook is a lame-ass side villain. The main guy, I don't know what his name is, but he's a villain in everything. The guy that was in Casino Royale with the scar on his eye, that guy. he's a shitty villain. He is the most mundane ass villain that just reads all of his lines like he's like Count Dracula who just took like a Vicodin or something. He's boring as shit.
What
He's so
what
like
you
it's
saying?
not.
It was a phone bill.
Yeah, because he's playing a villain. He's playing the same type of character. I don't understand like why they just didn't go crazy with this last one. Like it's not even better than Crystal Skull. I like Crystal Skull a lot, but I know that's people's least favorite. It's Crystal Skull is better. It's basically what I'm saying.
Hate Crystal Skull because of the aliens. Only reason.
The one thing I hate about Crystal Skull more than anything are those monkeys. Those monkeys, I just don't.
Dude, that did age like shit, dude. That aged like fucking like spoiled milk. Cause like rewatching it, like goddamn, like am I watching a video game cutscene? Like what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah, it was all bad with those monkeys, man. And Mutt was just swinging with the monkeys. I'm just like, this is a fucking mess. It's a mess.
Oh my god. What else? I think those are the only ones. Oh, gotta hear your thoughts on this. Terrifier 3. Did you watch the teaser?
I saw the teaser when it leaked. I just was like, okay, it's leaked, so I'm not gonna do a reaction for it. But I saw it when it leaked, and then I watched it again for good measure when they officially dropped it. But I think everybody needs to calm down because people are like, oh my god, he's going to kill that kid in the beginning. It's like, yeah, probably, and it's going to be awful. But we've been here before. We've seen kids get, like, we got to stop with the whole, oh my god, they killed kids and animals. Yeah, this shit has stakes.
Yeah.
This shit has stakes to it.
You ever seen All Hallows Eve? The original
no, but I know that's originated from, right?
Yeah, he dusts off 2 children at the end of the movie right there. Older than the girl that you see in the trailer.
Damn. So motherfuckers know I didn't know that, but I know that's where people first saw him at. But if he killed kids when motherfuckers first saw him, then it is what it is. People just didn't look at the source material. The movies have been killing kids off for centuries. It just gets way more hardcore and exploitative as the years go along, and I'm not saying I'm okay with it, but I can't stop it.
Yeah.
And if I want to see the movie, I'm not going to let that stop me from watching it. I'm sorry.
I saw, so I don't know if you've seen this, but there's this TikToker going around. I like him a lot, and I think he's a really good dude. I do disagree with what he said, though, because he went on and said the Terrifier 2 is inherently evil, and that the filmmakers should be ashamed of themselves, and that they are, celebrating evil, and we're bad for celebrating this type of evil because Art the Clown eviscerates his final girl, the girls and the men in this movie. And he hides behind his faith. He's a Christian. It's like all good Christians. Like, if you're a good Christian, you should not like this movie. And the dude got roasted in the comments. Said, "Dude, I'm a good Christian. Don't speak for us. I like this movie." And I'm like, I don't think movies are inherently evil. I don't think that's what it is. I think it's really just more of a fuck you to the system. It's fuck you filmmaking. That's how I took it. You know what I mean? Like, Damien Leone is a fuck you filmmaker. You know what I mean? That's just how I look at it. But what do you think? Like, do you think films are inherently evil by doing like this? Like movies like Human Centipede, Terrifier, Suburban Film. Like, are those movies evil?
I'm gonna answer your question. But to back up what you said about Damien Leone being a fuck you filmmaker, we need a lot more of those out here, especially with the way that people are trying to like put their fucking grips on horror movies and not let the creator create. I feel like we need to appreciate a director like that in this day and age who just has no fucks left to give, who's up in the ante every single, who arguably with the first movie established a brand new slasher icon. supernatural slasher icon. You know, like, this is the thing, man. Like, people complain all the fucking time about, oh, all they're doing is just doing Halloween movies over again. They're just recycling Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. They keep doing sequels to Friday the 13th. Why don't we get some new shit? And then when we get it in the form of something like Art the Clown, people still are going to fucking complain regardless, man. I don't think that these movies aren't. We're not in. Who is this review? Who is this person? Matter of fact, don't even say it. Don't even let me know. Just don't. Because the first thing I'm gonna do when we're done this stream is just look at his page and go through his work. I'm not gonna say anything, but I'm just gonna see like the flow.
I'll text you. I'll text his username. But but we follow the same mutuals on TikTok, so you'll see a couple of them stitched to a couple of our mutuals.
Man, it's not like, you know, this. He almost sounds like I don't even know who this person is, and I'm not trying to be like smart or anything, but he almost sounds like Siskel and Ebert back in the 80s when the Friday the 13th movies were coming out, and they were just going on these rants. And I watch this shit every once in a while because I've got it bookmarked on my YouTube shit. But he kind of sounds like what Siskel and Ebert were like, these movies hate women and they hate children and they're just doing this and that for exploitation. And it's like, at the end of the day, I feel like we do have an option to not watch this shit, as opposed to, I speak for all the Christian folk out there by saying this movie's evil. Nah, and I love that some of the Christians came on there and was like, you don't speak for us because we love this shit. We know those people I like, because they know their faith in God or whoever they worship at the end of the day has nothing to do with their taste in movies. You could just stop watching horror movies if that's the case. I mean, if you're too fucking soft to handle, you know, Art the Clown just tearing people up for an hour and a half, 2 hours, just don't watch it. It's fine. It's fine. Me personally, I don't like my horror watered down. I don't. It depends on what I'm getting into. Like, if I'd be forgetting Poltergeist is rated PG. And I thought I always thought it was rated R because of how that dude just peels his face off.
And shit. Yeah,
I can deal with that. I'm not expecting blood and guts from, you know, fucking Poltergeist. But if I'm going into the Terrifier, I'm not going to come out of the trailer, oh my God, there's blood in there. How could he do that? How could he put blood in it? Like, just stop, man. Stop it. Because we bitched and complained about horror for a long time. And I feel like once the 2020s, like, it wasn't bad in the 2010s, but the 2020s have been doing some shit that I think people need to really be appreciative of before it's no longer here. Before we really don't get anything original other than remakes and requels and all that other shit. So
yeah, I don't believe movies are inherently evil. I don't think the filmmakers making these kind of movies are evil. I just think they're just expressing themselves in a way they only know how to express themselves. You know what I mean? Like, when I hear Brother Lynch, I don't really think he's eating babies, you know what I mean? Baby guts. Like, I don't think he's really doing that shit. You know what I mean? He's just saying that shit. I don't believe that shit.
That shit caught me way off guard. He said, I don't think he's eating babies. Like, in my mind, I was like, oh,
yeah,
God.
Brother Lynch Chung, bro. Like, listen to a couple of songs. Yeah, he's out there. But he's like one of those guys that pushes the boundaries of what you would think should be said in hip hop. And so, and I do agree. I think we need more filmmakers like that to push boundaries. I think Donald Glover said it best too. Is like, I think cancel culture really takes the risk out, like the maverick out of a director, because you're so worried about being canceled over doing some stupid shit or saying some stupid shit. You're not taking the chance to create, and that's what art is creation, is controversy. That's what makes art great.
Yeah, man, like, if that was all me. Whole time I'm like gearing up to ask you after the fact if you saw that Good Burger 2 trailer. I should have opened with this question.
No, I did not see the Good Burger 2 trailer. I said, no, I'm good. And then, hold on a second. Wait, you still there? Hold on. Arby's, out of all fucking places, Arby's has the Good Burger fucking burger. Arby's does sandwiches. They do roast beef. What the fuck do they know about hamburgers?
It's one of
I mean, I could totally see Good Burger going to Carl's Jr. and Hardee's. I could see that. But Carl's Jr. is not like a big chain. But neither is Arby's. Neither is fucking Arby's.
I mean, Ving Rhames put him on the map. Just his voice alone.
Was that? No, that's not Ving Rhames. That's
Ving Rhames.
No.
We got the meat.
That's Ving fucking Rhames? Well, nah, you're lying right now. You fucking lying right now.
That's Ving Rhames, man.
I'm gonna Google this.
Just think. Listen to the announcer in the Arby's commercials, and then think of Ving Rhames when he was in Dawn of the Dead giving the eulogy to those people, and he was like, "Better them than me."
Oh my God, you're right. Have the meat. Oh my God.
It doesn't really help and add to the fact that Ving Rhames is always doing some weird shit in his movies. So I guess they did get the right person to do it.
Holy shit.
I'm not. Let me shut up because I don't want to burn that bridge. We'd love to have Ving Rhames on the show.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Definitely gotta talk about that Gimp scene in Pulp Fiction. Bob's Burgers, like fucking, they have Bob Belcher. He was a spokesperson for Arby's for a while, and that motherfucker does burgers. Oh my God, I feel like Arby's is fucking honing in on McDonald's and Burger King right now, dog. For real,
probably they're probably trying to get that big, but I don't really see that happening, and I don't think Good Burgers going to help that at all because that new movie looks fucking awful. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Like Simon Cowell, we need Simon Cowell to do movie trailer reactions, yo. Like, could you imagine that shit? That'll be like could you imagine if they had American Idol judges just doing trailer reactions? Simon's got to be there.
Yeah.
Simon.
I'd fucking pay to see Simon Cowell fucking react to like some movie trailers, bro.
Yeah, that Good Burger trailer, it is so awful, man. Like, and it's like Dumb and Dumber 2 ain't taught these motherfuckers nothing. Dumb and Dumber 2 and Zoolander 2, like everybody can't really be Ghostbusters Afterlife or Coming to America. They can't always be like that. But Good Burger, they're not even trying. They're not even fucking trying to
There's no such thing as Nickelodeon anymore. There's no such thing as Nickelodeon. That's what made Good Burger so good, because it was Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Like, there was love, there was energy, there was youth behind it. Now this is just a cash grab.
It was like, it was kind of like when, oh no, I was about to make the wrong comparison here. I'm trying to figure out what it was like. But basically, the Good Burger segment was so, and I said this when I did my trailer reaction, it was so popular, and Ed was such a popular character. Keenan and Kel were so great together. Good Burger became a thing, and people, like, kids loved it. I loved it when I was a kid. My daughter still watches it, but it hasn't aged well. But it's one of those things where the only thing you can do is all the stupid old screwball comedy slapstick shit that you did in the first one that actually worked for the time. But you're pulling shit from '97, that type of humor, into 2023, and it's not going to work. It doesn't hit. They're still doing, oh, let me throw burgers at somebody's face and, squirt condiments at people type of shit. Like, it's like nobody gives a fuck about that shit anymore. It's stupid. Good Burger's going out of business. I think they've all been fired, and the new Mondo Burger, it's not Mondo Burger, but it's another corporation. They're replacing employees with robots that look like people. Yeah, there's like a robo Ed that's like, can I take your order? And Ed's looking at it like, oh my God, this is so cool. Bro, I kid you not. It looks awful. It looks awful. I spent a half hour talking about that bullshit.
You spent a half hour talking about it. Holy shit.
I did what I always do, because I'm full of shit. I'll tell people in the beginning, like, all right, guys, I'm not going to take up too much of your time because I already know what this is, and spent a half hour and some change on that bullshit.
Just straight dancing and raving like a fucking maniac, huh? Yeah.
going off. You know? I was so disappointed, man. Not even disappointed. I didn't have any expectations, but it was worse than I thought it was going to be. It's terrible.
God damn, dude. I don't know. I don't think I'll watch it. I think it's a Paramount Plus exclusive, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Fuck, I cancel my Paramount Plus right now. Fuck that.
and I told myself, I made the conscious decision to tell myself that the only way I will watch this is if my daughter wants to watch it. But even then, I'm going to sneak and watch this without her because I don't want her there. And I said this shit and I mean it. I don't want her there like nudging me like, Daddy, that's funny, right? Like, I don't want my judgment clouded. I want this to be just as bad as it looks. Hopefully worse than it seems.
Well, I have a story. It's kind of related, but it's kind of not. So I was watching Five Nights at Freddy, right? I was watching it with my stepkid. And she is a big avid Five Nights at Freddy fan. Like
Oh yeah?
Yeah, she loves the video games. She's a huge nerd for it, you know what I mean? So it's like she was marking out for it, right? And I was watching Five Nights at Freddy with her, and she was doing the exact same shit that I would do when I was watching like Mutant Mayhem. Like I see, oh, there's Bebop, Rocksteady, the Shredder, you know what I mean? Like, you know, the moments where you're just like, you just have like these bursts of joy, right? And she was having those moments too, right? And then like at the end, Golden Fast Bear, like I was like, God damn, like she's enjoying it, you know what I mean? Like she's having fun. Like that's what joy is, right? So I was like, yeah, this wasn't a bad movie, but I feel like had I watched it by myself, I don't think I would have had that same kind of reaction to it because I felt like if I had watched it by myself, I would have said, Willy's Wonderland is a way better fucking movie. And it kind of is a way better fucking movie. The Banana Splits movie is way better than this bullshit. It really is.
It's
the Banana Splits movie. Yo, that's a fire movie. But my point is that, again, you're like watching it with your kid, watching with your stepkid or whatever, that does cloud your judgment because you're kind of, you're appreciating the movie, but you kind of appreciate it that they're appreciating it in a way that you would appreciate something in your fandom. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, like, I'm just like, yeah, I guess it was okay. It was all right. It wasn't great. You know, the movie itself wasn't great, but the mystery, there was enough mystery to keep you enthralled. But I still like Willy's Wonderland better. I think the Banana Splits movie is a better fucking movie. I actually think both those movies are actually better than Five Nights at Freddy's, to tell you the truth.
I mean, Banana Splits, is that a bear? Is that bears?
No,
stuffed animals.
Do you not know who the Banana Splits are?
Why do I feel like
cartoon version? It was the Hanna-Barbera cartoon version of the Beatles. Watch, once you Google Banana Splits and you see the cartoon, you'll recognize them.
Okay, I see the artwork. It's not even artwork. Those are really dumb. This came out in 2019. This is rated R.
Yeah, and it takes place on a TV lot. The Banana Splits movie is actually worked off of a spec script for the original Five Nights at Freddy movie.
So this is like the template, kinda.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
It is.
Yeah,
awesome,
they had the trailer start playing and shit, and they're jumping around in the suits like a little band.
The movie plays out like a Saturday morning cartoon because they have like really great gags here and there. It's awesome.
Yeah, this looks like some Five Nights at Freddy shit. Yeah, I've never seen. Is that Katie? No, that's not Katie Sackhoff. Yeah, I've never seen this movie. I've never seen this. I would hope that it's better than Willy's Wonderland and Five Nights at Freddy's because I didn't really enjoy either one of them. I like that Willy's Wonderland had blood and an R rating, but Nicolas Cage wasn't an interesting enough character to where he didn't have any lines. Like, I didn't think he was that good in the movie to just not say shit at all.
I think that actually made to me, I think that's what makes the movie better. Like, he didn't have any lines. He just grunted. It was fucking awesome. I kind of theorized that was the sequel to Drive Angry.
And he just stopped fucking talking at the point. William
Fincher probably took off his tongue. Well, actually, in Drive Angry, he didn't really talk either, if I don't remember.
Was that Amber Heard?
Yeah.
Was that Amber Heard?
Yeah.
She's like, I'm going to fuck you up. She was foreshadowing her whole relationship with Johnny Depp in that one sequence, yo.
I remember.
That's one of the main things I remember is her saying that to that guy. I remember William Fincher being funny as fuck. I don't know if he was trying to be funny. I know I found William Fincher hilarious in that shit.
Yeah, he was great.
That's probably the most entertaining movie project, and I know I talk about these two a lot. That's probably the most entertaining project that Patrick Lussier and Todd Farmer have worked on, because them two working together on anything else it's a little suspect. It's a little suspect.
Let's see, what else has Patrick Lussier done?
My Bloody Valentine 3D. They both worked on that. They worked on Trick together. They did Dracula.
I haven't seen Trick. I haven't seen Trick.
Ooh, I can't even finish it. It's fucking terrible, man. It's one of those things where Omar Epps was like, all right, my nephew wants me to do it, and I owe his daddy a favor, so I'll do it. Like, it's terrible.
Yo, your favorite movie. Patrick Lussier actually did one of your favorite movies. Dracula 2000. Yeah, I didn't know that.
That's his best movie. In my opinion, that is his best movie. Because all the other shit, I don't know what
I gotta rewatch that movie. I gotta rewatch that.
What? Which one?
Dracula 2000.
Yo, man, I think for me it's probably top 5 vampire movies, because it's a great modern spin. It's just very Dimension Films. It's a star here, a star there, a familiar face there, and it's very like stylized.
Phantoms. It's like in that little run right there.
Yeah, man. Yo, I fuck Harvey Weinstein, man. Dimension Films. I'm saying I don't want to glorify. Is it any way that we can glorify the company without attaching it to Harvey Weinstein at this moment? Like, his brother didn't do shit. Does his brother count as an innocent?
Tainted. It's it's the apple that rotted the barrel. You know what I mean? That's what sucks. I know. That's how I feel about Jeepers Creepers. Like a lot of starless careers. Like Mira Sorvino, she was gonna be in Lord of the Rings. That was gonna be her breakout. He fucking blocked that because he told them that he was difficult to work with. He did that with someone else too. Yeah, man, that's fucked up, bro.
What a waste.
For real.
What a waste, man. Because back in the day when you used to see that Dimension Films logo, you knew that meant some major shit. Even if it was a straight to DVD or a straight to video movie, it's like, all right, I'm gonna get something here. I'm gonna get at least some good faces in here.
At least it's a good movie somewhere. Because Dimension Films actually has some low key good movies, man.
They did, man. They did.
The first three screens were Dimension Films.
Not all of them. I think
the first 3. 4, 5, and 6 are 4 and 5. 4 is Weinstein. 5 and 6 are Paramount. The later half of Kevin Smith's career was Dimension, and then into Weinstein. Yeah. Quentin Tarantino's first few movies were Dimension Films. Then later on to Weinstein.
Yeah. And Robert Rodriguez too, right?
Robert Rodriguez too, yeah.
The Dimension Films too. Yeah, man. If you were, that was the place to be. Like, that was the popular. Yo, before I forget my thought, we're talking about Dimension Films and how directors latched on to these. This is actually a really good segue into something I was about to tell you.
let's not do what we did the last 3 streams and waste it. So
we're not gonna forget about the main event. We can't do that.
let's not do that. Let's not do that.
Bro, listen, I'm telling you, I kid you not. And people, I'm gonna just tell y'all this right now. There is a moment, if you guys missed it, there is a moment in all this time me and Johnny have been doing this show, yo. We had set out to make it our mission to do a Fast and Furious franchise ranking, all 10 or 11 movies counting Hobbs and Shaw.
Mm-hmm.
And we got so fucking sidetracked the whole night for like 3 hours that it wasn't until Johnny was ramping the episode up, he reminded me that we completely forgot what the fuck our show was even about. Bro, when I tell you, I watched that little clip in your YouTube shorts at least probably 3 times a month, and that shit has the same effect as the night it happened, yo. That is the funniest. That's like probably one of the best highlights of our show for me. That shit, I don't know what we were talking about that episode, but we just, the way you said it, he was like, yeah, unfortunately, we'll never get to, we didn't even get a chance to get to it. Yo, that shit was hilarious, man. I was like, oh, shit, what? It had the list right in front of me the whole fucking time.
And you had the perfect segue to it, the ludicrous, and we wasted it.
That was, okay, I won't do that here, but, and I got my shit right in front of me. What I was about to say was, we were talking about Dimension Films and these directors being a part of these studios, just making film after film after film for these studios. So Blumhouse has a new movie trailer dropping tomorrow, and it's called Imaginary.
Okay, yeah, I saw the picture for it on Bloody Disgusting.
And I'm looking at it like come on, y'all. I feel, and then it said, I looked and I zoomed in and I was like, who did this? Jeff Wadlow, Cry Wolf, Kick-Ass. Did he do Kick-Ass or Kick-Ass 2? I can't remember. But Kick-Ass 2. He also did, for Blumhouse, he did Fantasy Island, Truth or Dare. Exactly. And now he's doing this. I feel like Jeff Wadlow made this movie years ago. And I feel like with the success Blumhouse just got with Megan, Five Nights at Freddy's, I felt like they were like, okay, it's time to push this shit out here. We were going to put this on the shelf and use it as scrap footage or something. But now that they've been successful off of some dolls and animatronics, let's bring out the cursed teddy bear. That's what I feel like. But I don't know how long ago it was made, because DeWanda Wise is in it, the black chick from Jurassic World Dominion. But I still feel like this was a project they didn't even know if they wanted it to come out or not, because of fucking like a killer bear. Like, are you serious? Like Blumhouse, you know what Blumhouse is gearing up to do? They're gearing up to do a remake of Silent Night, Deadly Night 5. It's going to be Megan. It's going to be the Five Nights at Freddy's things. And it's going to be all the Blumhouse creatures coming after everybody on Christmas. And it's going to be like, boom, Silent Night, Deadly Night 5, the remake. Nobody ever knew they wanted.
I would buy that if Megan wasn't in the future. That's the only problem with that one.
Oh, Megan. Yeah, but they got this, they're like, trailer drops tomorrow. I said, oh, I can't wait to do this trailer tomorrow. I probably won't even drop it until Saturday, because I already did the Rebel Moon trailer. I'm going to drop that shit tomormer. But this new shit,
dude, that Rebel Moon trailer is fucking fire, dude.
Rebel Moon trailer?
I'm excited.
I hope it works, because it looks really good. Will it be really good is the question. Like, it looks like it's a lot of shit going on in that story that Zack Snyder's putting together, everybody.
Yeah, Snyder is not a really good writer. That's something that I've always commented on. Like, I don't think he's a great writer. I think he's a great visual director. But I don't think he would be. I don't know. I mean, we're just gonna have to see what he's gonna do. This is actually based off a script that he wanted to do in Star Wars. So we're gonna see.
And I was saying that because it was somebody on Facebook. Shout out Michael Vanderpool, man. He was saying, I really want to say he was the one that was like, yo, this was his pitch for Star Wars or whatever it was, but he decided to make it his own thing. And I'm like, that makes all the sense in the world, even down to the lightsabers.
Disney said no. They're like, fuck no. We don't want an R-rated Star Wars movie. The closest we'll ever get to an R-rated Star Wars movie or R-rated Star Wars is Andor and Rogue One. That's it.
Rogue One, boy.
Rogue One was, that was so good. So
Rogue
good.
One, low key, is top 3 for me. I think I got Return of the Jedi, I got Revenge of the Sith, and I got Rogue One. And low key, my 4th spot is about to be Solo. Like, until I see the other ones again, and the last 2, I watched Solo last week at some point. I was surprised at how much I enjoyed that shit. I did not think that Aaron Alden, whatever, what the fuck is this dude's name? Let me look it up. I did not think, I called him Aaron. Yeah, Alden. Y'all know what the fuck his name is. Y'all get what the fuck I'm trying to say. But yeah, I didn't. I actually liked him. Woody Harrelson. I was just waiting for him to reveal that he was his character from fucking Zombieland. Like, I'm always waiting for that character moment from him.
What's his?
And Amelia Clark was actually good. Amelia Clark was great in that movie. Huh?
Was it Oklahoma or
Tallahassee?
Tallahassee. There you go. Okay. Florida, man.
I was about to jump off the cliff with you, like, yeah, I think it was Oklahoma. I know it was a place.
I know it was like southern, like Texas, maybe. But then again, I would think about it, like, Texas would not be caught dead in those snake pants that he wore at the end of the movie. So yeah.
Yeah, those pants, man. I mean, only Tallahassee could pull that shit off.
Yeah, for real.
It's my guy.
Well, let's get right into it. Our main event tonight is actually brought to you by Romero Tudor. This is actually one of his ideas. This is What If? And the segment today is directors. Now, I'm not sure where you went with this.
Look. Soon as you said what if, all them Marvel fans out there, y'all thought, didn't y'all think? Nah, it's not your time right now. We're not talking that Marvel shit tonight.
But that's clickbait though. That's somebody use that. Get them to click on it. I'm even gonna put what if in the title. Oh
yeah, there you go. That's marketing right there, man. Yeah. People, there's nothing wrong with marketing yourself. Nobody's going to promote you the way you will promote you. We promise you that.
And so, Romero had the idea of picking directors in certain film franchises or film movies and asked the question, what if one of these directors had directed this movie, and so forth and so forth. We both have 10, I think, right?
I do.
Okay.
Mine's are all horror, though. Y'all already knew I was going to be an asshole about it, and I wish that I didn't pick all horror movies, but I did. I did.
I don't know where you went with your list because we didn't really talk much about it. Are yours list like more like fan choices, or are they like actual directors that were attached to the movies, the said movies, or movies that haven't been developed yet that these directors have been attached to?
As far as I'm concerned, I don't think these directors were ever attached to any of these projects. I think if there was maybe 1 or 2 people that were rumored. As far as everybody else, these were people that I just picked, that I thought were fit to do the job. Like I'll pick one, but I had 2 for each. So I'll just pick the one person.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I can.
You want to lead this off, or you want me to kick off?
No, you could go ahead and jump start it off.
Okay, so this is one that I had mentioned to you in text as an example that I had, but this actually almost happened. The Thomas Jane sequel directed by Walter Hill or Rob Zombie.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
I don't know who I would want to direct that sequel, honestly, because both of those would bring totally 2 different movies to that screen. Walter 48 Hours, 16 Blocks, Last Man Standing, Extreme Prejudice. Then you got Rob Zombie, Halloween. Like, he was coming out Halloween, they wanted him to do fucking the Punisher movie.
Oh, Walter Hill also did. I don't know if you've seen Bullet to the Head. It looks like he did Bullet to the Head.
Is that the one with Stallone?
Stallone, Jason Momoa,
Yeah.
Son Kane.
Yeah, that's actually okay. John Cena.
Ooh, he did Undisputed.
Yeah, he did the first one with Ving Rhames and Wesley Snipes.
I'd take that guy for a Punisher movie. I think his Punisher movie would have way more balls than the actual Thomas Jane movie. I don't hate the Thomas Jane movie. I just feel like it like, I don't know what was holding that shit back. I don't know if it was
tame.
Yeah, I don't. Was it like studio or whatever it was? It was very just chill for a movie like that. But either or, like Rob Zombie doing it, automatically people are going to hate it when they see his name attached to it. Oh, it's going to be, yeah, it should be. Anything that Rob Zombie's movies are, it should be. It should be. Whatever Rob Zombie can bring to it, I would definitely. Damn, I'm trying to think, like, would I have Rob Zombie do it or Walter Hill? They both would kill it, though.
I think I'd go with Rob Zombie, honestly, because I think you would just get like something just out there, something close to the comics, but something just so surreal and just nightmarish that I think Rob Zombie would. And I think also, I've never seen Rob Zombie do something kind of like this. I would like to see him tackle like a full-on action movie and see what he could do with that.
Yeah, that's right. He hasn't. I couldn't even tell you, like, well, what's the closest he came to an action movie? It was a Devil's Rejects, maybe.
Yeah.
Because all the other shit, you can't really see any. Well, I haven't seen 3 from Hell, and I haven't seen 31 yet. I haven't seen anything. Okay, all right.
Don't see 3 from Hell. Trust me.
He said don't see it. But it's the sequel. I need to know how they survived that shit.
You don't, because it's stupid. It's fucking dumb. The explanation they fucking have is dumb. Doesn't even make sense. No, it does not make sense. There's no logical fucking way in hell all 3 of them survived, especially with the amount of gunshot wounds they had to the head and neck. No fucking way. I'm sorry. No.
He said no fucking way.
No fucking way. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, man. I think I'm gonna start my list backwards. And I kinda regret putting this on here. Yeah. Damn it. Now I'm looking at it like you ever look at the list and it's just like, fuck, why did I put this shit on here? It really doesn't need to be on this list.
Yeah.
But whatever. I mean, the only reason I'm like kind of like backpedaling, I'm going to say it, but the only reason I'm backpedaling is because this doesn't really need a remake. I think a sequel would still work for it, even in 2023, 4, whatever the case may be. Wait, what did you do? Did you start from your number 1 or number 10?
10.
All right, so yeah, I'll do my backwards 10. My number 10, and I'm mad that I put it on here, but I'm not, is Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and who I would pick, my what if director to do it would be Drew Goddard.
Oh,
Goddard?
Goddard, yeah.
Or Scott Derrickson. But Drew Goddard was my first choice. Cabin in the Woods by itself. I don't even care what else he's done. Cabin in the Woods, I like.
Fun fact
what's
about
that?
Drew. Fun fact about Drew. He was originally tapped to do Homecoming.
Spider-Man Homecoming?
Yeah.
What the fuck happened?
He dropped out. Creative differences.
Nah, that was Kevin Feige. Like, now listen here, goddammit, you're not about to put that rated R Cabin in the Woods shit up in my movie. The fuck you will. That was Kevin Feige. That was Kevin Feige trying to link, right? And Drew Goddard was like, yeah, he's like, I don't need this shit. I would rather have him or Scott Derrickson do a Killer Clowns, even though it deserves a sequel. Either one of them could do that shit some justice.
I think Drew Goddard can do it. I think he's actually more suited because he has the humor. Scott Derrickson is a little too dark and a little too mature for my taste, to tell you the truth. But I think Drew Goddard could really make that movie feel really zany and make it feel like a clown movie. Like, I think he has that kind of humor, and I think he would nail it.
Yeah, I mean the way he does that whole sequence of when I forgot the actress's name, but when the chick and Marty, when they let all of the creatures out of those cubes and when they run them up, I mean, even though there is a clown in there, I think the way that he handled all those creatures killing people, everything looked different. If you go watch the movie, it's one of those movies where if you go back and watch certain things in the background happening in those moments, you always see something different. And the Killer Clowns had enough, outside of the clowns, they had enough shit that was weird. They had the cotton candy that was weird, the balloon dogs that were alive, they had popcorn that was alive, and shadow puppets. I feel like Drew Goddard, is it Goddard or Goddard?
Goddard, dude. Goddard. It's Goddard. Trust me, Goddard.
Goddard. I feel like he can handle, like you said, the zany parts in there, and he can have the humor. I don't know where Scott Derrickson came from. I just thought of somebody who could like have a dark edge to it, but you don't want the Killer Clowns to be too dark.
Yeah.
Like I thought more of like Sinister, which is not. You don't want the Killer Clowns from outer space to feel like Sinister. Like you gotta have some type of fun with the movie, even though it depends on what you're into. Like if people wanted to completely forget how cheesy the movie was, that's fine. But I think
fucking God,
what happened?
Scott Derrickson directed my favorite Hellraiser movie, Inferno.
Yeah, Inferno. He did Hellraiser Inferno.
That shit. Yeah, Drew all the way.
You know why? Because Scott Derrickson, they probably told that motherfucker you're doing a live, like a live action CSI movie spinoff. And then Doug Bradley just walked on set and Scott Derrickson was like, well, what the fuck is going on? Like, I thought we were doing Hellraiser. It was like, oh, I forgot to tell you. It's a Hellraiser movie now.
Yeah, we'll put Pinhead right here at the end.
Yeah. And he probably was already 8 weeks into filming and then they just dropped the bomb on him like, oh yeah, this is a Hellraiser movie. It's like, huh? Scott Derrickson.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my even though it shouldn't get a remake because I think, like I said, a sequel, the Killer Clowns, like being away from Earth so long and coming back in modern day and just having to deal with the new shit, and we got to deal with their shit that's ahead of ours, but it still seems kind of like wacky.
Man, I think the Killer Clowns taking on the creepy clowns that are just like standing and waving it. Oh my God, that'd be, dude, yes.
Possibilities are endless. The Kyoto, I don't know what the fuck they're doing, man. Give them whatever. They got a video game out. Give them whatever money they need.
MGM,
whatever budget they need.
MGM won't do it because they own the rights. They won't do it.
Fucking MGM, man. Again, this goes back to the whole Marvel shit we were talking about. This is why it's good to stay humble. Remember when MGM went for broke? Like they literally filed for bankruptcy. They were in a shitty hole. And I don't remember what
sold out, and then Amazon bought them. So maybe there is hope after all.
Now they got it. Remember, they had a brand new MGM logo. It was all polished up and fancy schmancy. Like, yeah, we back. Don't be a bunch of bitches and not let that Killer Clowns remake happen or sequel, whatever the case may be. And don't turn it into a fucking series. Nobody wants that shit.
No way. Okay, my number 9 is actually kind of interesting because this actually almost happened. Happened because Canon Films actually owned the rights to Spider-Man in the late 80s, early 90s. And
no shit.
And James Cameron had already penned a script for it, which led to the creation of the Spider-Man cartoon on Fox. So the cartoon on Fox was actually supposed to be a sequel to James Cameron's movie that he never made. He ended up making T2 instead. But in the absence of James Cameron, these two directors were up for making a Spider-Man film. Can you guess who they are? Chris Columbus, director of Home Alone, Adventures in Babysitting, Gremlins, and the master of horror himself, Toby fucking Hooper. Texas Chainsaw. Chainsaw Massacre 2. Huh?
Toby Hooper and
Christopher Columbus.
Whoa. Toby Hooper and Chris Columbus were going to make a Spider-Man movie.
Yes, they were. There were the two front runners in it back in the early 90s. So your choice is, what if? What director would you want to see?
Out of those two?
Out of those two.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm going Chris Columbus all the way. All the way. Now, listen, don't get me wrong. What time frame was this?
Early 90s.
Early 90s, okay.
Yeah, so like 89 to like 94. That was when they were going to do it.
Yo, you gotta. I'm sorry, man. Nothing against Toby Hooper, man. Rest in peace. Shout out to Toby Hooper, one of the goats, made one of the greatest horror films of all time, hands fucking down. But Chris Columbus, from the time frame that you mentioned, look at his, not just his directing, but his writing credits. He was the man of the hour. If you go back, I don't remember what I was looking up for. I think I was about to do commentary for like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles or something. I think he had something to do with that. He either wrote it or something like that. But if you go and check that man's resume, whoa, that dude, he was, I think if he was a part of a Spider-Man movie, you get, one of the first things I automatically think of is Home Alone. That's the first thing you think of. You're going to get, you might get some slapstick, but it's going to be handled in a way where it's like, okay, this is still reality, but people can survive this kind of thing.
And like he did the two Harry Potter movies.
Yes, he did.
Stone and Chamber of Secrets.
He did the first two.
Yeah. He was actually supposed to do the third one, but creative differences stopped him from completing his trilogy. Mrs. Doubtfire, Home Alone 2.
I'm picking. I'm sorry, man. Toby Hooper. Listen, for sure, but I'm picking Chris Columbus to do it. Hands fucking down, yo. The humor is going to be. It probably would have been the funniest Spider-Man movie we've ever seen. Yeah. Ever. Because Chris Columbus with that humor, man, it's like he will skate on a PG surface, then it'll go into PG-13, and then you'll think like and have to go back and look like, yo, was this rated R or what? Like I really can't tell. Like he's got a rated R cut of Mrs. Doubtfire somewhere. So hell, listen, Chris Columbus all the way, bro. Like I did not think he was gonna fucking say those two people. That's crazy. That's crazy to me, and I'm mad that we never got that. Mad we never got that.
Yeah.
I'm so pissed off we never got that. Damn.
Oh, you're gonna be even more pissed off once I start going through this list, dude. Trust me. Some of these were actually rumored and almost happened.
God.
So just wait.
Yeah, man.
Wait till I hit you with this. Wait till I hit you with this Jurassic Park one, bro. That's just gonna blow your mind.
I already know what it is. I know who was supposed to get. I know who's supposed to get Jurassic Park. I know. I saw it on what the fuck? It was something I was watching.
No, there's a dark horse candidate that no one talks about.
Oh, I thought you were talking about somebody else.
No, I am talking about that person, but there is a dark horse candidate though that's gonna blow your mind.
I know the one person that was supposed to do Jurassic Park was like, listen, I'm glad he got it instead of me because the shit I was going to do to you, the shit I was going to do to this movie was about to be crazy. Your kids was about to be terrified of this bitch. Yeah, oof.
Yeah. Okay, so what's the next one you got? I mean, my choice would be Chris Columbus too, because I think again.
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
I think he does. He does come in, especially at that point in time. He did come of age stories very well. You know what I mean?
Yes,
And Spider-Man is nothing
absolutely.
more than a coming of age story. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
yeah, I would go with Chris Columbus. Toby Hooper, that would be interesting as fuck, though. No lie, that would be interesting. Can you imagine Chop Top in a Spider-Man movie?
As a villain, yeah. As a villain or a butler or some shit like that. Or maybe Chop Top would be like a reoccurring character that Spider-Man just talks to, like when when he's in the suit and he's just chilling, like he just talk to Chop Top in an alley somewhere. That's what I said. Like Toby Hooper, man, he was going through I don't even want to call it a slump, but he was going through that phase I like to call. That director did this. Like he did this shit. Like Toby Hooper did a Crocodile movie in the 2000s, I think, called Crocodile. Yeah, he did that shit. And I was like, oh, I remember that shit went straight to sci-fi back in the day.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
All right. So what's your next one? What's the next one you got?
My number 9. I think it's actually still in the works, and there was a director that said he would like to do this, but I decided not to go with him. I did pick 2 for this one too. My number 9 is Pumpkinhead. We need a Pumpkinhead remake, because part 3 and part 4 were pieces of shit. But my picks for a Pumpkinhead remake, I picked Alejandro Aya, the guy that did The Hills Have Eyes remake, Piranha, High Tension, Piranha 3D.
He's on my list. He's coming up soon.
Oh yeah? Okay, yeah. Great minds. Plus, I got Rob Zombie from one of mine too. So we're
right there. We're right there.
My backup or partner in that crime would be Ty West. We know who Ty West is. X. I know it's a little weird. Ty West, X, Pearl. Somebody told me to watch The Innkeepers. I haven't seen it. I watched like probably 20 minutes of it.
I think Ty West is actually better suited for Pumpkinhead than
you think so?
Aja. Yeah.
Because I thought you were going to say the other way around.
No, I think Aja would. I think with Aja, like I don't think he would flourish in the mythology enough. But if you watch a lot of Ty West's movies, there's a lot of mythology. There's a lot of world building in a lot of his movies. Like if you watch X, you watch House of the Devil, The Innkeepers. Like he's he knows how to world build without exposition. He makes the world already feel lived in. And I think he'd be able to bring this legend to life. And I think he'd be able to treat Pumpkinhead as anti-hero rather than a villain. You know, I feel like Aja would make it more like a creature feature rather than a story about empathy and like, acceptance and stuff like that. Because like when you think about it, Pumpkinhead is a protector. He is not a predator. And I feel that is the disconnect what a lot of people have.
There is a method to his madness, and it's funny you said that you picked. I thought you were going to pick, like I said, I thought you were going to pick the other one over the other. I didn't know you were going to pick Ty West out of the 2, but I picked Ty West because I felt like Alejandro Aya can handle I felt like he could handle the spectacle better. Then I feel like Ty West can handle the characters and the story better. Like something I didn't expect out of Ty West's movies, like Pearl especially, like the way those characters are written, they're written like they have like moments of development, and you don't really get that type of shit a lot these days. So I felt like with Ty West handling the characters, he might give you, whether it's Pumpkinhead 2, where you just didn't give a shit about any of these kids and they're all assholes, or Pumpkinhead 1, where he gave, there were characters where it was like, okay, I kind of feel bad for you two because you're just guilty by association, but you two motherfuckers and the brother so-and-so, like Ty West can probably do that shit well. But I don't know, if they did it on some grindhouse shit, it's going to be like, one of the things I would need though, don't, until it's like third act, don't show Pumpkinhead a lot. Don't show him in like a lot. I don't know if you've seen part 3.
No.
They got this big son of a bitch walking around in the daytime in the woods, just hawking around. I swear to you, I talk like Sean Connery for a second. I swear to you, he is rubber suit, looks terrible, big tall actor in a rubber suit, and the girl's like, that big ass. It's kind of like a clearing, but it's got that big ass stump where the body was at in the first one, and he's digging up the body or putting the body in that ground or that sacred ground, whatever it is. The girl, I think she's hiding behind that, and Pumpkinhead just pops up and stares in her face, broad daylight in the middle of the woods, like it's like he's a regular monster. Don't ever do that. Like, don't show him in the daytime. Don't have him pop out for a whole bunch of jump scares. Linger on his talons and his hands enough, his tail, his footsteps, and then in the third act, just go a little bit crazy. I don't know, maybe give him wings, like the late, great Jeff Burr wanted to do. If it's a one-off, fuck it, give him wings.
Give him wings.
Get a man wings.
I don't know about that one. I can get behind everything else, but with the wings, that's a little too far for me.
Can you imagine if the studio really let Jeff Burr get that motherfucker wings in part 2? He really wanted him to have wings. That would have been crazy.
Yeah, and it would have looked good too because that monster was practical, and like the wings would have looked like a bat.
He would have looked like the Creeper before. I feel like Victor Salva's creepy ass probably called into the studio and was like, "Don't let him do that, man. As soon as I get off these charges, as soon as I get off for these charges for touching these little kids, then I'm gonna make this movie with a creature that has wings. So don't let him do that. I'll call you guys back. Phone check." And then Victor Salva just hung the fuck up. Victor Salva just got phone checked and hung up. Oh man, I hate that motherfucker.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Ruined 3 movies. Ruined 3 movies. Fuck that guy. Okay.
And somehow, rest assured, I hate to say it, I'm not praising the guy or anything, but he's got 3 movies that are better than the shit that they came out with recently, man. Your favorite Jeepers Creepers movie?
Oh my god! What the fuck was that, dude? Were you even trying?
That was one of the funniest green screen reviews you ever did, yo. Hands down, that's gotta be like top 3. That shit was funny as fuck. Oh man, people, do yourselves a favor and go on TikTok on Johnny's page and look at when he reviewed Jeepers Creepers Reborn.
Yes,
it is worth the time, I promise y'all.
Yeah, that shit is fucking hilarious. All right, my number 8 is Jurassic Park. So what if James Cameron or Tim Burton did the movie? Tim Burton. Don't lie. Swear to God, Tim Burton was actually trying to get the rights for Jurassic Park. No. It was a race between him, and it was a race between Burton, Cameron, and Spielberg. Spielberg got it. Burton kind of trailed off after Batman Returns. He's like, I don't want another blockbuster movie. But Tim Burton was in the running to do Jurassic Park back in '93.
Ooh. Do you understand the nightmares that would have like now? I love Jurassic Park. It's one of the greatest movies of all time for me. And James Cameron definitely would have made that shit
alien movie. Oh my god!
But
that Velociraptor scene would have fucking hit so different with James Cameron.
Oh yeah, we would have basically got Velociraptor. You remember that scene where Ripley and Newt were stuck in the room with the fucking face hugger? What? Woo! Yeah. Yo. Yeah. He could have pulled that off with. He didn't even have if he would have used raptors, cool. But if he would have used those little fuckers from the Lost World, you remember the little ones that were fucking with that little world? He could have used those and made it scary. Yo, James Cameron. That's why when you said that, I was like, I remember hearing that. It was on Double Toasted, the Double Toasted podcast, man. They were I forgot what they were talking about, but they mentioned that shit and I never knew it. But Tim Burton, I think
he was Avatar when they were doing Avatar, the Avatar review. But yeah, I don't know what Tim Burton would have done with Jurassic Park though. Would he have made that shit claymation?
Now that is what concerns me. Like, I don't want a bunch of fucking velociraptors and T-Rexes or the Beetlejuice snake. Like, I don't want that. But Tim Burton, he would have turned that shit into a park for real. I think the park, Tim Burton would have been more fit for a Jurassic World movie.
Yeah.
Because the parks got active. That shit has got to be active. It's got to be things going on over here, over there. Now, I'm not saying Tim Burton couldn't handle Jurassic Park that was trying to get up and running, but I just feel like the way that he did Pee-wee's Big Adventure, the way that he did the underworld in Beetlejuice, and the way that he did, you know, even the sewer and yeah, with Gotham City, like I feel like with him having a whole park at his disposal, like I think that would have been insane. But yeah, that stop motion shit definitely got me wondering, because don't use a bunch of stop motion for the dinosaurs and then just call it a day. We know you're Tim Burton, but I would be mad if he really did that shit in a movie.
You know,
that would remember the dinosaurs in Pee-wee's Big Adventure? They look like shit now. But
yeah,
imagine him.
Hey, but no lie though, when we saw that shit as kids, that shit scared the fuck out of us though.
Yeah, the way that shit ate Pee-wee's bike, I was like, oh yeah, yep, this is definitely fucking nightmare fuel. Tim Burton
and Marge, you know what I mean? The two most frightening scenes in a children's movie. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck were you thinking putting those in there?
That's what I'm saying. Tim Burton undoubtedly would have gave us one image that would have been burned in our heads forever, because he does it in all his early shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know which one it is for me in Batman, but I know the shit that scares me the most in the first Batman he did is when the Joker's getting his bandages peeled off, and you don't see his face, but you see like tufts of his hair coming out of the bandages and shit.
He's the way that it's shot and lit, and the way Jack just performs it, it is scary.
Scary as fuck.
Yeah.
And the Punisher Warzone had the audacity. I love that movie, but they had the audacity
to replicate it.
Yeah, yep. They ripped that seat off, and I was like, "This is what the Joker did."
You fuck.
Jigsaw's not even that great of a villain. Yeah. Jigsaw ain't even that great of a villain for you to do that shit.
I would have to go with James Cameron. Honestly, I would have loved to see a rated R fucking Jurassic Park movie. That would have been great. Aliens, like an Alien-esque Jurassic Park movie. Like that opening sequence alone would have been like the most terrifying 8 minutes of all time.
Listen,
James Cameron at that time would have probably used real dinosaurs.
It's like, so how did you get these things to look so real? Like, yo, we really brought dinosaurs back for this shit.
Yeah, we really brought them back. We got up the fossils and shit and got some DNA and boom, there it is.
You know what else would have been crazy? That scene where they're getting chased by the T-Rex in the Jurassic Park Jeep when Jeff Goldblum's in the back and he's like, must go faster. That shit would have been like the equivalent of like the Terminator 2, John Connor, T-1000, T-800 chase sequence. That shit, imagine the T-Rex shit being like 15, 20 minutes long of a chase sequence that's just crazy throughout the park. Yeah, action would have been probably some of the best action we've seen in a Jurassic Park movie, hands fucking down.
Yeah, man, I'm mad that we didn't get that. But I understand why we didn't get that. So, I get it.
Maybe the world wasn't ready for it. I feel like we could have made time for it, man. Like I don't like The Lost World, and I don't like Fallen Kingdom. So if we could have got James Cameron on
up until they get to San Diego,
when they brought the T-Rex to San Diego,
yeah.
The Lost World has some of the best moments. Like that moment when the raptors are in the tall grass. Shit.
Which they try to replicate again they try to replicate that in another Jurassic Park movie. Oh my god. No.
Was it?
No, the raptors weren't in Jurassic World. I think it was in Dominion. Wait,
I just watched Dominion. Like
no, it was actually it was toward the end. It was Raptor Country when Chris Pratt and the girls and the kids had to go into that abandoned facility in the tall grass.
That was in Dominion?
No, it was a Jurassic World. Jurassic World.
I
gotta think.
I like Jurassic World. Jurassic World threw me off because I'm like, okay, can I get some practical dinosaurs? I know there was probably practical dinosaurs in there, but they CG'd a whole lot. And I I was waiting for that practical dinosaur close up every time of like the Indominus Rex, and I never got it. I'm not nitpicking. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, people.
Okay, so that's fine. So you picked James Cameron too? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No diss to Tim Burton, man.
Yeah.
I think Tim Burton's one of the greatest visionaries, but James Cameron,
that's just something different right there.
It looks better. It feels better. James Cameron's Jurassic Park. It fits. Fits perfectly. Like a fucking glove.
Yeah. Think about what he would have done with that technology.
Ooh-wee. And that was like the prime too.
That was LIM too. That was light industrial magic. Think about that. They also did Terminator 2. So just think about because a year before you had Terminator 2 that had like some that still to this day have like special effects that still hold up.
Special effects that still hold up. And before that, he had The Abyss.
Yeah.
I just saw that The Abyss is getting re-released, and that scene where the alien is in front of everybody and that actress is touching it, that was pre T-1000 shit. Like people hadn't seen that type of special effect either. So James, I don't know. He would have had to have a water dinosaur. We need a liquid or water dinosaur, some shit, man. He would have had to do something we haven't seen, something wild. That's not too bad, man. I wish, if James Cameron would step away from this Avatar shit and jump on Jurassic Park. They need a new director for a new trilogy or a reboot. Why not get him on board? Because all this, this Avatar 9 shit, nobody, come on, man. Come on now. I mean, I do want to watch Avatar 2, but goddamn, he said, you look on IMDb, Avatar 6 is up there. It's just, I don't get it.
Oh my god. Okay, what's your next one before we start getting on James Cameron about Avatar?
Yeah, it turned into the fucking James Cameron show. My number 8. There's actually 3 of these movies. The first one matters. The second one it's a guilty pleasure. The third one's one of the worst movies ever made. But I do think when people talk about ghost movies, ghost stories, that this shit gets overlooked all the time. And my number 8 is Sometimes They Come Back. And the directors I picked that I think could pull this off. One of them's kind of typical. The other one's associated with the typical response. My first choice of director is James Wan for Sometimes They Come Back. And if Wan can't get it done, or if Wan needed somebody to be under his wing, I'm sorry, just based off one directorial debut alone, I got Patrick Wilson. And I am not an Insidious fan at all.
I started watching that too the other night, and I turned it off. Not because it was bad, but just because I was like, oh man, it's like 2 a.m., dude. Why did I put this on? 'Cause now I want to watch it.
I don't like those movies much at all. I don't. But I give the credit where the fucking credit is due, bro. Patrick Wilson, for that to be his first time directing, you could tell he was like an understudy of James Wan. Whether he was just acting and following his direction, or whether he was getting little notes on some, how Ice Cube was doing John Singleton on set type of thing. Whatever it is, it worked because he directed Insidious 5, and while I don't like these movies, it's consistent with the rest of them. It feels like James Wan or whoever directed the last bunch of them did that one too. It feels all connected. And he does a lot of he uses a lot of fucking jump scares. He does. All the movies do, but some of them got me. I think it was 2 of those that scared the shit out of me and caught me off guard. But he does some really atmospheric shit when I don't remember the kid's name. What the hell is that kid's name? Gunther? I don't know. The main kid that's at school. I called that motherfucker Gunther. I don't know where that came from.
God damn, bro. You really don't know the fucking kid's name. The main kid that's in there up at college, he when he starts to astral project is what I'm trying to say. He does some really cool shit with the camera. So I feel like if not him and James Wan, one or the other, man. But Sometimes They Come Back it's already, even for a made for TV movie, I always say the shit has got atmosphere to it. It feels like there's a veil
over the lens. And it's not to say anything bad about the movie, but it seems like there's like a mist or like just this, I don't know, it's like this supernatural ghostly feel over the whole movie. But sometimes they come back. And these two, they can pull it off. Like, as long as they don't jump scare it and they keep somebody that's as interesting or as good as Tim Matheson was. Because like I said, man, for this shit to be a TV movie, I never grew up knowing it was a TV movie, but it's damn good. Like, it's cheaply made and it's pretty tame on the violence, but story-wise, like, yeah, they could pull that shit off. I almost picked two other people, but I had put them in something else. And plus, sometimes they come back. I feel like with the right money behind it, it doesn't have to be a lot of money, but you know, they're putting money into fucking, you know, as far as Stephen King remakes go, they're putting money into Children of the Corn, straight to streaming, and they're giving theatrical releases to Firestarter remakes. Like, let's give the remakes that deserve the shit a chance, like the really, really good stories. Like, I don't know.
I would have to go with James Wan. I would have to go with James Wan because he has the track record for supernatural movies, and I'm not really, and I've never seen. Sometimes they come back, so I would have to go see those movies in order to know what I'm talking about. But just based off what you're going off of, and the supernatural entities and the ghosts, James Wan has done a couple of good ghost movies: Dead Silence, Insidious, The Conjuring universe. You know what I mean? So I do think that when it comes down to something that's supernatural, I think James Wan is more suited and booted for that type of genre.
You've never seen Sometimes They Come Back?
No, never seen it.
I'm not gonna make it seem like, oh, this movie is the greatest movie. It's scary and it is just it's a vibe there. I think it's one of the better. It's very short. It seems like the runtime is very thin. And the more you watch
remember it was an ABC movie. Like, I do remember that. I do remember there was like a big ABC Sunday night movie of the week. So,
yeah.
But it was not a movie that I was like, I mean, I was kind of burned by ABC though after The Langoliers, and after that I was like, I don't trust ABC no more.
It's nowhere near as bad. And by the time you're done with it, I guess it's up to you to decide whether it should have been feature length or whether it should have been in 2 parts, like how they were doing his miniseries.
Yeah.
But it's nowhere near as bad as The Langoliers. I think any CG that's in there, I don't think there's any CG that's in there. I don't think there's any CG in there. There's no crazy blood flow and there's no gore and things like that. But I guess it's Tim Matheson's performance is pretty fucking good in there, man. And the guys they got to play the 3 ghosts that come back for him, they got some weird energy going on. That would be really make or break casting if you decide to remake Sometimes They Come Back. But they made 2 more. If you like the first one,
I do remember seeing that poster. Sometimes They Come Back Again with them in front of the '57 Chevy with the fire in the back. I remember seeing that poster everywhere at the mom and pop shops. And I used to think, man, that poster is hard. Like, that poster is pretty fucking sick.
Yeah.
But I never ever rented it though.
Yeah, I want the book so bad because I want to know what they couldn't put into a TV movie. The first one's good. The sequel's guilty pleasure because Burt Gummer from Tremors plays the dad. A young Hilary Swank plays the daughter. Alexis Arquette plays one of the undead ghosts. Is that an oxymoron? I think it is. And Jan Brady plays one of the best friends in there. So there's some faces up in that shit, but it's nowhere near as good. I mean, it's gory as shit. It is some nasty, nasty, nasty gore moments, and probably 2 really creative kills in there that Wrong Turn 5 ripped off at some point. But you get to see somebody get killed with tarot cards in the sequel. I've never seen that shit happen. Part 3, don't even waste your time with Part 3.
Yeah,
it's called Sometimes They Come Back More.
The poster is already giving me a red flag. It's like a pond that's covered in ice and a fucking hand coming out. Like,
no. It's not a pond. They are in Antarctica.
Oh.
And whatever they wake up, It's I'll tell you right now. It's a guy and a girl. They're on this expedition out in Antarctica, and they wake up some evil. This shit has nothing to do with the previous two movies, yo. And what's the boy's name? Rick. Rick from Just One of the Guys is in there. So there's that. Clayton Ronner is that dude's name. He's up in that bitch. But yeah, you should definitely watch. Sometimes they come back. Don't expect anything crazy. But it's definitely worth it, man. I feel like not a lot of people talk about that shit. James Wan can pull it off.
Yeah, I think James Wan can pull it off, just based off the description of what you're saying. Okay, so this one is kind of a cheat. This one is actually kind of a cheat at number 10, at number 7. This one's a cheat, but it got me thinking. What if? So back in 1998. No, back in 1996, 98, 97? No, 97. A little movie called Blade came out. And originally, the director who helped develop this movie was David Fincher, the director of Seven, Fight Club, The Killer on Netflix right now. Shameless plug. Netflix ain't paying me, but they should.
Say shameless plug.
But he left to go on to work on Fight Club. But a lot of the stuff, so a lot of the stuff that was original there, David S. Goyer, he helped develop the movie. But the remake of Blade, Albert Hughes turned down the remake of Blade. Albert fucking Hughes, of the infamous, famous Hughes brothers, Menace to Society, Book of Eli. You know, Albert Hughes did the Continental that's really blowing up on Peacock. So my question is, yeah, he directed all 3 episodes.
All 3 episodes he did that shit?
Episodes. Yeah.
Oh my god, I didn't even I forgot when the Continental, not even to get sidetracked, I didn't even know it was, I forgot the release date, so I didn't know that shit was already out there.
Yeah. But my question is, which Blade would you rather see? David Fincher's Blade or Albert Hughes' Blade? That's a tough one because both of these guys bring something totally different to the franchise and to the movie. And they will both give you totally different movies. Tonally.
Oof. I already know. I gotta go with Hughes. I have to. And I'm only going with Hughes because from what I've seen of the 2, David Fincher, I automatically, I'm off the rip, I'm going to take a 7. That's it. Yeah. Everything else is a bonus after that. And I thought of oh my God, I thought of how everybody was comparing The Batman to a David Fincher movie, psychological thriller, 7. And I thought of Blade trying to solve, these vampire mysteries and shit. But then I'm like, no, I don't want to see Blade be a detective. He's not a detective. There's only but so much snooping around he needs to do before he really starts whooping ass. And the fact that I've seen Book of Eli and the fact that there is solving mysteries in From Hell, people forget that the Hughes brothers directed From Hell, with Johnny Depp. Those 2 movies by itself, it's I would trust them. Just the action alone in Book of Eli. The fact that nobody knew they could pull this shit off, or let alone one of them could pull off a post-apocalyptic action thriller. So, what I know now, if I can go back in time and have a vote on the board, I would go Hughes for sure, because at the end of the day, I do want a great story from Blade. I want great characters surrounding Blade, because Blade's going to be great regardless. It's just what you put around them. Out of all of that, I need that action. I need that action, full tilt boogie, pumped all the way up. So I would pick Hughes. I gotta pick. I have to. My hands are tied. I can't.
This is a tough one, actually. I don't know who I would pick because Fincher and Hughes both bring different dynamics to the movie, and so I don't know what. I'm kind of curious to see what Fincher would do with a superhero movie, especially of that type of caliber.
He's never done anything close to it, has he?
No.
I mean, if you count Alien 3, but he barely even directed it.
He didn't finish it.
He barely even touched that shit. That shit should say, directed by David Fincher, but in all caps, and then they explain it before the movie starts.
Just to be different, I think I'd go with Fincher just because I want to see what he could do and what he could bring to that type of character. What kind of sensibilities would he bring? You know what I mean? Especially if he's just coming off the 7, or if he's coming off the 7 and they make the offer to him to help develop Blade. Yeah, I need to see what he's gonna do.
You already know it'll be like Blade is already like it's a fucking half vampire hybrid, so it's already a crazy property to begin with. But imagine how just dark in tone his shit would be, man. Like you almost can't have any fun because shit's gonna hit the fan at some point. Like he'd probably kill Whistler and just put Whistler's head in a box, like how he did Gwen. That would have been a crazy ending. Like if he killed Whistler in the first Blade movie. Matter of fact, they did kill him in the first one. They brought him back.
They brought him back in the second one. He turned
and then killed him
into a vampire.
Did him dirty in part 3. They blew his ass up. He said, "Yup, y'all got me for 1 day, if you're lucky." I think they got him for like 2 days because he came back when Drake had morphed into him in the hospital. So Whistler's really only in 2 sequences in the movie. Poor Chris.
Okay, so that's my number 7.
What are we on? 7?
So
Damn, that was David Fincher, man. That's really how I should have did my list. I should have looked up who could have done what, or who was going to do what. Yeah, because all of these are just people. I was just like, okay, they can do it. So 7, number 7. If we would have stuck to 5, I put a star next to this because I wanted this to be on the list regardless. My number 7 for my what if, it is Slaughter High, but the directors I picked were, and for anybody that doesn't know what Slaughter High is, first of all, why the fuck don't y'all know what Slaughter High is? We'll explain it in a second. My directors I picked, the first pick was Radio Silence, which they probably won't have time to do this shit now because they just
they're doing the Bride.
That's right. Yeah, that's what they're doing. That's why they stepped down from doing their other Scream shit. Radio Silence was my first pick, and my second pick was a director by the name of Jeremy Saulnier. Saulnier.
Murder Party, Blue Room, and Green Room.
There you go. Y'all know what I was saying with his last name. God damn it.
Jeremy. Jeremy, hands down. Jeremy. Not even a question.
Already, huh?
Not even a question. It's Jeremy.
Yeah, but the humor.
No, there's no but. There's no but. It's Jeremy all the way.
That's why I picked Radio Silence. I picked Radio Silence because I was like, okay, Slaughter High. The humor is present. The practical jokes are present, and the practical jokes are present when Marty starts killing people. So you want that black humor, that dark comedy type of shit.
This goes back to his first movie, Jeremy's first movie, like a Murder Party, which has all of that.
Yeah,
that was the Halloween episode.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Then there's a lot of dark humor in that movie, as well as in Green Room. In Green Room, there's some really funny moments in there when they're not supposed to be, like unintentional funny moments. Unintentional funny moments, not intentional, unintentional. Like when
let me know.
Patrick Stewart is reaming out the dumbass skinhead and talking mad shit. That's just pretty funny. them talking shit to the junkie is pretty funny. So, yeah. So and also that movie is pretty dark. You know, the original Slaughter High is kind of dark. You know, so I think Jeremy Salinger, and it's rooted in revenge, which is also something that he does well.
Yeah, the ending of Green Room, like just how fucking brutal it is, and the ending when Anton Yelkin, recipe shout out to him, when he puts the paint on,
yeah,
they got his arm all up and he's got the machete, he's slamming the machete trying to lure everybody out. That reminds me of like, what could he do with a modern day Marty Ranson? That's just when he's not setting up traps for y'all that are gonna fuck y'all up through these school halls. Like, what's a chase sequence going to be like, and what's going to happen when he gets to you? And do we do the same type of ending or not? Obviously not.
No. I stop it every time they flip the switch. Fuck that ending. I fucking hate that ending with a passion.
That I mean, I like the syringe through the eye, but it's like, wait, did we just see a dream? And we're owed, even if it was a direct sequel. Obviously, rest in peace, shout out to Simon Scudamore. He passed away before the movie came out, or shortly. It was either before or shortly after the movie came out. But even if we did a Old Man Ranson, or Old Man Ranson, sequel or something like that. Like, people are owed that shit. Because Marty never really got revenge. He just had a nightmare. And Nightmare just so happened to be the fucking almost 2-hour movie we had to sit through. But Slaughter High, man, I always wanted to remake a Slaughter High because, for one, I think The Mask is dope as fuck. I think The Mask is super underrated. I think the Jester Mask is crazy underrated. It's a creative movie. I like the fact that they're trapped in that school. But the thing with Slaughter High is it's a lot of characters in that movie, and a lot of them you don't give a shit about. They're all assholes, honestly, but I don't really like anybody other than Skip. And Skip, like, those are the only people I like in that movie. There's a lot of fucking characters in there. I think that's one of the things they would have to tone down if you remake it. Don't have 18 fucking people. Because you got people that die, you don't even remember their names. There's a part where a girl, her name's Susan, and I only remember that because Skip said it, but she shows up to the party late and gets killed immediately, and you don't even see her body. You don't see her body, and she's just gone. So it's just too many characters. You tone that shit down, you halfway home. But I don't know. I don't know who I would pick out of the two, man. Because with Radio Silence, I need that. I need that. I be thinking of that zing that they put in there, man. Like with Ready or Not, I was a believer when I seen Ready or Not. I didn't know who Radio Silence was. I didn't know they were part of VHS, but everybody was like, yeah, these are the new Scream directors. They did Ready or Not. I was like, all right, let me go watch it. And Ready or Not, I think I gave it like a 9 out of 10 or something like that. But I don't know. They're the next up and coming ones. So yeah. Slaughter High is my number 7.
All right, number 6. This was actually recently announced about like a month ago on Friday the 13th of all fucking days, and I did a TikTok reaction video. I was like, I would want to see this, and it also came out that other director wanted to do this property as well. I am talking about Damien Leone and David Bruckner directing Friday the 13th.
I don't know how I didn't put 2 and 2 together at first.
See, it's just...
Woo!
I don't know which one I would pick, because David Bruckner is fucking phenomenal. I don't think he gets the credit he deserves. Night House, Southbound, Hellraiser, say what you will about that movie, but he did a really good job of doing that. He has some really solid segments in VHS. Damien Leone is a fucking madman. He's, we would probably finally get the New Blood uncut if Damien Leone fucking did a Friday the 13th movie. I don't know who I would would pick, honestly, because both these directors would be fucking phenomenal.
Ooh, wee. Oh, man, I feel like I'm automatically thinking of the VHS segments, and I'm thinking of Hellraiser. Because I think David Bruckner did that segment in the first VHS where they break that girl out of the haunted house and the windows are closing up and there's hands coming out of the walls. He did a lot of that shit in Hellraiser.
He also did the hospital segment in Southbound, which was at the whole middle of the movie.
Is that an anthology?
Yeah, it's an anthology movie. You never seen Southbound? I think that's still on Hulu. Hulu. I mean, Hulu, Netflix, you need to start showing out, man. I'm like fucking giving you free promo here. Let's go.
Yeah. Send us some fucking t-shirts or something, man. Netflix,
free trial.
Listen, Netflix, we'll plug y'all shit for like 2 minutes. You know, we'll clean up our language, of course, but we'll promote y'all for 2 minutes. You know, y'all. Listen, it's gonna cost y'all. It's gonna cost y'all.
For real.
We didn't. You know, y'all got the numbers. We didn't say a number, but you know, just we'll promote y'all shit. We'll do it good too. Guarantee y'all that RNZ Live will get y'all streams up.
Yeah, we'll get those subscription bases going up.
But I feel like visually, David Bruckner would kill a Friday the 13th movie, man. Like, because like you said, I agree 200% what you said about Hellraiser. I think that movie was way better than we deserved, and all the shit we put up with the Hellraiser franchise, we did earn that. But Damien Leone, man, like you said, we might get the new blood, but when you said that, I thought of something even crazier. Like, I thought of the new blood. We could get the unrated version of the new blood, the Beekler cut that we wanted, and then some. We could get kills that are better than the Jason Goes to Hell kills. Because you know how I feel about that movie. I will always credit the fucking gore and the practical effects in that movie are a fucking one. So Damien Leone, the way he makes his movies, like kind of outside the system for the most part, and he's playing by his own rules. If we could get but listen, if I did pick him, don't bring the Art the Clown shit into the Friday the 13th franchise. I love the Terrifier movies. I love what they're doing. Keep that shit separate. Don't put no Easter eggs. Don't connect no universes. Don't do nothing. We haven't had a Friday the 13th movie since 2009. We don't want to cross over just yet. We got to get Jason right again. Mm-hmm. We got to get him back on screen. Then we can pair him up with Michael and Art and Wishmaster and all these motherfuckers that people want to see these people pit up against. I'm trying to think of who I pick. I low key. I don't know, man. It really. I don't even want to get technical. It depends on what type of Jason we're looking for at this point. Do we want? I feel like David Bruckner can give us Jason that we were kind of scared of back in the day, like maybe for the first 4 movies or so. But I feel like Damien Leone on the flip side will give us the best rock star undead, one of the best rock star undead out in the open Jasons that we've seen. You know, because that's what he does with Art the Clown. I mean, it's 2 different characters, but Art is very much interacting with these victims, and that's what Jason does for the most part in the later movies. He hides out, but Jason will kill a whole bunch of people in a cornfield like it's nothing. He doesn't give a shit who sees him. You know, he'll slaughter everybody at the party. So it's like it depends on which version of Jason we want on screen. I don't even know which version I want at this point. Like with the new series and the remake we're getting, I don't even know what I'm even looking for at this point, because we've seen so many versions of Jason. We've seen Huntsman. We've seen Hillbilly, Redneck Jason. We've seen Hills Have Eyes Jason with the new mask. We've seen him run full speed. We've seen him Frankenstein. We've seen him Undead. Jason. Scooby-Doo Jason. We've seen Amphibian Jason who swam to New York. We've seen Gremlin Jason, Uber Jason. We've seen it all. So it depends on which version of Jason do you want to bring back. Do you want to put some new shit in there? Like, is Jason going to talk? Like, what if Damien Leone made Jason talk? Like, what if he's just got a whole bunch of one-liners?
Well, according to an interview that he did with Deadline, Damien Leone said that he wanted to make Jason feel scary again, where we don't root for him. So
I love that.
I would go with. Oh, this is tough, man. Because I want to edge it to Leone because of the special effects, but I think from a filmmaker standpoint, I think Bruckner would give us the better film.
Yeah, overall. Yeah, it's like, do you want gore and the violence that we expect, or do you want as a whole type of thing?
I don't know, this is tough, bro.
Yeah, because we haven't had, like, as a whole, and it's not like it's many, but we haven't, like, I gotta be honest, man, as much as I enjoy the later sequels, it's something about those first 4 movies that felt like whole films for the most part. They felt like,
especially 4. 4 felt like a real fucking movie. Like, there was like real depth to that movie. It felt like there was a world outside of Camp Crystal Lake. You know what I mean? Like, there was a world outside.
Yeah, I always say that movie's so good that if you took Jason out of it, I'm still gonna watch it. I want to follow these characters. I want to know what happened with them before, and I want to know what happens with them after the fact. Like, those are characters that you really didn't want to see die. I don't think there was one character I wanted to see get killed in the final chapter. But I like that
they were all likable. That was the thing too. Like, in 4, they were all likable. You know what I mean? They were all likable. They had their traits, but yeah, I think this one might come down to a tie, dude. Honestly, at least for me, I can't pick one or the other.
Because when we start breaking it down, it's like those are 2 fire ass picks, man. And I know they both would get it done. Who was the guy that was supposed to do it? There was somebody that was supposed to do Friday the 13th a long, long time ago. Was it Breck Eisner or something like that? Whoever it was that did the Crazies. I want to say Breck Eisner. He was supposed to do, was it Jason in the Snow, I think? Yeah, he was supposed to do, I think he was supposed to do a Friday the 13th movie back in the day. I think or was that Bruckner? I want to say it was Breck Eisner.
Yeah, it was Breck Eisner. He set the board, but Paramount not shut it down.
Fucking morons, man. Whatever it is, whoever makes it, y'all better make this Jason movie. I'm telling you, man. People, you know what people want at this point. It's really hard to fuck up a Jason film.
So here's why they pulled the plug on it. Because World War Z tanked. And so they wanted to pull... Yeah, there's World War Z. It tanked. That's why they stopped it.
And David Fincher did World War Z, didn't he?
No, he developed it, and then he was going to do a sequel to it, and then they...
Oh, yeah, yep, that's right. You are absolutely right. I think that's so fucking weird, but I guess that's the business, man. You know, we sit there and we look at the numbers on a Monday morning after the weekend box office, and it's just like, damn, well, World War Z did bad, so let's go to the calendar and let's take off Friday the 13th, let's take off this and that. I don't know, man. I wish these studios. I guess I won't know until I own a fucking movie studio. But I don't know. I guess it's just they don't want to lose money type of thing. But it's just weird that one bad apple spoils the bunch in that business, man. It's so strange. Yeah. Weird as fuck.
Yeah, it's a tie for me. I can't pick between these two because I think these two would fucking bring us a great movie. Either way.
I mean, you make a good point though, because you said like with the gore and everything, and like just as brutal as it could be, Damien Leone is that guy. But as far as like the overall quality of the film, and it's not even saying anything bad about Damien Leone, but it's like David Bruckner. I think on the eyes. Production-wise, like a movie like Hellraiser is much better to look at. Like it looks like a better film. The production value is a lot better. It feels like a studio film. Sometimes that's good. I don't know if he would, if you know, Damien Leone would sign on to a studio to do Friday the 13th, but you need Friday the 13th to look a certain way. I don't know if the remake, ruined that, because the remake's pretty polished, it's pretty stylish, but I don't know.
I don't think it ruined it. I just think that was just the time. You know what I mean? Like it needed to. Friday the 13th needed a fresh paint, a fresh coat of paint. Like it really did. Like if you think about it. So I think people coming down on the remake is nah, dude, nah.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's my number 6.
Damn, that was a very interesting number 6.
Number
Damn.
5 is really interesting because it almost happened. So
I'm wondering what's your number 5 now. I'll hurry up with my number 6. My number 6. Again, this didn't almost happen. This was just me sitting around like, yeah, I wonder. This actually had a remake before, and it was some of the worst money I've ever spent in the theater. And I actually took somebody to the movies at the time when it came out, and so it was a waste of 2 movie tickets and popcorn and 2 large soft drinks. That shit was I really can't explain how bad the remake is, but you know it's serious when you gotta remake the remake. Like, you know it's bad. That's either a big fuck you, or that's either, you know, we just want something to do. But a remake of the remake. I want The Fog back into the mix. I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. You know why? Because what was it, that 2005 or 2006 remake of The Fog? One of the worst pieces of shit. John Carpenter, literally, that was literally him and the late, great Deborah Hill. Rest in peace, shout out to her. She got a documentary coming out and is well-deserved. But y'all just put y'all names on that movie and probably didn't see the shit, probably didn't go to the red carpet premiere, probably haven't done any interviews on that shit, probably don't even want to, you know, they probably didn't even want to associate themselves with that shit. It's terrible. So
John Carpenter has like the best response to like any of those remakes. It says, "Do I need to be there?" They say, "No." Okay. Are you gonna pay me? Yes. Give me my check.
yeah, because he don't give a fuck. Because he don't have to, bro. He don't give a fuck about that. That movie's terrible. So yeah, fuck. I'm sorry, man. Like, you know, we don't know these directors personally. These are our personal opinions, people. But fuck that director, man. Because you made a piece of shit remake to a movie that's damn near, in my opinion, damn near flawless, man. I remember rewatching this shit for spooky season, and it gets better every time I watch it. But
so I got
like The Fog.
I got a confession. I've never seen The Fog. I've never seen The Fog. Never.
Not like you. Wait, you're talking about the remake, right?
Now I'm talking about both. I'm talking about either. Like I've never seen either of those movies.
Some people say that's John Carpenter's scariest movie.
Yeah, no, I hear. I never seen Christine either. So,
I mean, Christine's okay. I'm not really crazy about it. I love how that movie heavily influenced Halloween Ends. If you go, when you watch it, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Even down to the score. That
same car is in Halloween Ends.
Yep. And The Fog, though, man. Oh my God, bro! You have to see it. It is a movie. Everything they did CG wise in the remake is done practically in the original movie. And okay, real quick. So the directors I had, I'll explain it to you in a second. But the directors I had on board to do a remake of this, I had Brian Bertino, the director of the first Strangers movie, and if that didn't work or he wanted a monster mashup, Andre Overdahl, who did The Last Voyage of the Demeter, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. And I specifically picked those 2 guys because the way that they frame these killers, these creatures, the way that they are framed in a way where it's not a cheap jump scare, it's not a quick cut, it's a lingering shot on these things where it's like, oh shit, that person or that thing is about to come get this person. Up until like they are within arm's reach and they just get away by a second or something like that. That happens a lot in the original Fog movie. There are moments where the fog rolls in, weird shit starts happening, but then if you look close enough, you see the ghost in the fog. Like, they're physical ghosts. They're not like running through shit. They're stabbing people. They're hooking people. But there are moments where they're just creeping towards somebody. Like, there's a moment, I won't spoil what happens, but the fog takes over this ship, this fishing boat. And it's 3 guys on there, but there's one guy all the way down in the bottom where the generator is at. And it's a bunch of fog in the dark-ass basement of the boat. And you hear the footsteps, like watery footsteps, but if you keep looking, you're like, somebody's behind them. Somebody slides the door open, and you hear the footsteps just creeping up towards them. All one shot, all the way up until it gets to him, chokes him, and puts him up against the wall type of thing. And it's like, the way that Brian Bertino shoots the strangers, like when Liv Tyler's in the kitchen and that guy, you don't even see him right away. He's standing right behind her playing cat and mouse in that one shot. And Andre Overdahl, the way that he films Dracula, like where it's not, I know you said one of the problems you had with that movie was you said they showed him too much too early or something like that. Yeah, they showed him too much. But when they do show him in some moments, they don't. It's not a jump scare. You see him creeping away and creeping off and shit like that. Plus, the last words of the Demeter and Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark made use of good atmosphere. Yeah. The fog, the night sequences had great atmosphere, man. It is. I'm telling you, you got to see that shit. It's only but so much I could say about the fucking movie because you haven't seen it. You got to see it.
You know, Thanksgiving. Okay, so I'm gonna add that to like the Thanksgiving break list. That's on the list. Let's see.
Great fucking cast too. Janet Leigh, Jamie Lee Curtis, Tom Atkins, Nancy Loomis, Hal Holbrook. They're all in that shit.
Adriana Barbeau, I believe.
Charles Cyphers is in there. Oh man, there's somebody else that's in there. John Houseman does the opening monologue, which is fucking fantastic. Sets the whole vibe off for the movie. The kid Ty Mitchell from Halloween 2, who gets that razor blade in his gums, he's in there. He gets a really big role in that movie as he plays Adrian Barbeau's son. But yeah, man, it's like all the John Carpenter familiars are in there. The score is great. The pacing's pretty good. I'm never really bored with it, but that's probably because I've watched it 1,000 fucking times. But yeah, man, it is. That's all I got to say.
All right, this is definitely on the list. Next time we do the stream, I should have a review up.
I'm waiting on it.
All right,
and then watch the remake afterwards.
Oh, fuck that! I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that.
I put Tom Welling in the fucking.
I would go with Andre Overdahl just because of the track record. Brian Bertine doesn't really have much work other than The Strangers to go off of.
The Strangers and the Monster.
But
the Monster,
Andre Overdahl with Troll Hunter, with Demeter, with Scary Stories.
He did Troll Hunter?
Yeah, he did Troll Hunter.
The found footage movie, right?
Yeah.
I remember seeing that like in couple years ago. I remember seeing that shit. I forgot all about that movie.
Yeah, he did that. So for me, I would go with him because I feel with all his movies, he knows how to use atmosphere. You know what I mean? Like he has, especially in Demeter, even though as little as there is, he knows how to use the setting, the enclosed spaces, the rain, the fog, the clouds, all that. He used it really effectively. So I think Overdahl, just by default, because I think he has a track record to prove that he can handle that kind of material.
Yeah. Another reason I picked him was that sequence, just that one sequence when that guy's trying to get away on the boat, and the last words of Demeter, and Dracula just swoops down on his boat, kills him, and then just pushes his shit back to the Demeter.
Yeah.
But the fog surrounding him and the way that Dracula is filmed, I'm telling you, he could pull that shit off, man. Like when you see how John Carpenter frames these ghosts in this movie, man, especially the first attack scene, it's fucking great. Like it's so good. So good. And then watch the remake after.
Okay,
Tom.
So this is a weird. Okay, so this is not actually kind of weird, but it is kind of weird. So this one's kind of like almost happened, but I also added like, okay, what if this director almost did it too? Because I feel like this director also was very vocal for not being a part of the franchise when it was on Netflix. And I'm talking about Luke Cage, Hero for Hire. So originally, back in the 90s, Quentin Tarantino wanted to do a Luke Cage movie with Lawrence fucking Fishburne, which I would have been okay with. That would have been dope. That would have been sick. We would finally gotten Fishburne, Tarantino together in a movie. But on the other side of that, I keep thinking, what if Spike Lee finally got to do Luke Cage? What would that look like?
Spike, do the right thing and say Spike. I am Team Spike, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Well, hold on. Before you go on, I just want to say this. Spike Lee is also developing a movie called Nightcrawler with Sony that is also a Marvel property that is due out within next 2 years. So, which is also in the Venomverse. Yes, in the Venomverse. Crave and stuff like that. So, Spike Lee is getting his Marvel movie next year. So, that's good. Bravo to Spike. That's all I wanted to say. That's good.
Is it going to be rated R?
I don't know, but the showrunner that Charles Holker, I believe is his name, the writer showrunner for Luke Cage on Netflix, he's also a part of the movie Nightcrawler. So that's also that also adds to it. So I think that would be good. I need to make sure I got his name right. Hold on, but go ahead. Who you have Spike and why is that?
Look, a lot of people ain't gonna like what I'm about to say. You ain't gonna like. I'm picking Spike for personal reasons because I would pick Spike the same reason I feel like Ryan Coogler was the best choice for Black Panther, because to keep it a bean, if we're talking about Luke Cage, I didn't really get into Luke Cage, the Netflix series. I've seen a couple episodes here and there.
Season 2 is where it's really at, dude.
Good. It's good soundtrack too, from what I saw. Fire fucking soundtrack.
Yeah.
Social commentary too. That being said, I would need somebody like Spike Lee to tell that story. Quentin Tarantino, don't get me wrong. Quentin Tarantino, as far as his style of, I love him as a filmmaker, but as far as his style of writing, he is idolized in my eyes. I long to be able to write bits of dialogue in Quentin Tarantino fashion. That's just something I always wanted to do. But I feel like Quentin Tarantino would treat this shit I don't know. Is he going to treat it like how he treated Django Unchained? I feel like Django Unchained was his way of just, oh my God, I get to say the N-word as much as I want to. Oh my God, it's a passion project. Because he always does this in his movies.
To be fair, he did do Jackie Brown. So I'm just saying.
That's right. He did. And Jackie Brown was a damn good fucking movie too, man. I seen that shit for the second time 2 years ago, and I was like, I'm mad that this movie is that fucking good. But because Quentin Tarantino puts things in movies that don't belong there. Why does not the only black guy, probably Samuel L. Jackson wasn't going for that shit. Why is the biggest, most intimidating black guy in Pulp Fiction getting his fucking his ass taken? Why is it happening? Why is Quentin Tarantino's character in Pulp Fiction written? He's throwing N-bombs all over the place with no context to what his character is. It's just it's scattered this and scattered that, and Quentin Tarantino just does these weird things. He plays these weird characters. I don't want to see Quentin Tarantino have a cameo in Luke Cage, because I'm gonna want his character to die. I feel like he's either gonna have an obsession with feet, He's either going to be a pedophile, a rapist, or, you know, like it's like in Planet Terror. He was a soldier who was a zombie, and he wouldn't let his melting dick stop him from being a rapist character too. Like, he's just, Quentin Tarantino's insane. And as much as I would love to see him do Luke Cage, like I automatically think of like Kill Bill. That's the closest he's gotten to like a superhero movie or something like that. I would want Spike Lee to have that on his resume. I feel like if Spike Lee didn't do like Static Shock or some shit, yeah, also, do Luke Cage. So
Spike is New York. Like, when you think Luke Cage is straight New York, and Spike is like the most New York filmmaker out there besides Martin Scorsese. I think that would be. I think you're right. I think Spike Lee would do Luke Cage justice. But I also think Tarantino would have made Luke Cage in the vein of like Coffee or Foxy Brown or Blackula. Like, he would make it. Because Tarantino takes after the Jack Hill school, and he loves blaxploitation films. And I really do think that, like, the closest he's ever gone to a blaxploitation film is Jackie Brown.
Yeah, that's true. That's why he casted Pam Grier in the first place, because he wanted to make it. He wanted to make a blaxploitation film. Damn, I didn't even. You know what? You make a really good fucking point with that. The fact that he does idolize movies from that time period so much that he includes like those zoom-ins, scores that are sampled from those old movies and shit like that. I'll tell you this though, if Quentin Tarantino did do a Luke Cage movie, we would have hands down one of the best written comic book movies of all time. There's no doubt in my mind that he would have somebody. It doesn't even have to be Luke Cage. He would have somebody. I don't care if he had Christopher Walken come in for a cameo. He's going to have somebody give a monologue about something that doesn't sound like it's about shit, but you're going to be there for it. You're going to be locked into every single word. That's like I said, Christopher Walken, because I thought of when he gives that monologue about the watch in Pulp Fiction. Nobody gives a fuck about that watch unless you're really paying attention to the story, but you are listening to it like he's talking to you like, damn, it's a really good story right there. Like, he's going to lock you in for sure. But
this was tough also, but I'm gonna lean with Tarantino just because I think he would give us that 70s type blaxploitation movie.
Throwback shit.
Yeah, I think he would give us that.
Wait, so Quentin, I'll call him Quentin. Quentin Tarantino was attached to Quentin Tarantino, that's his cousin by marriage. He was attached to a lot, man. Like Luke Cage, Halloween 6 at some point in time. Was this before or after Luke Cage? He still wants to do that. He still wants to do Star Trek. And I don't know how that's going to go.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's going to go.
Yeah, I don't know either. But yeah, I think I would go with Tarantino. I think Spike Lee is probably the right choice, but just because I think the fan in me wants to see what Tarantino could do with a superhero movie. Again, it goes back to the Fincher thing earlier. It was like, I want to know what he could do with this type of property. You know what I mean?
And this crazy, we'll never know, because whatever that he's working on, he said it's his last film.
Yeah.
Before he retires, which is bullshit, because it should have been Kill Bill 3. Nobody wants this new shit that he's, and then he's trying to break Bruce Willis out of retirement. The motherfucker can't talk. He doesn't want to be in your last movie. The fuck out of here, man.
Yeah.
Like unless it was, and it was crazy, as Bruce Willis said that he would want to, if he ever revisited a sequel, he would want to see what Butch's character is up to from Pulp Fiction. He said that in, I think it was an interview for, it was either Death Wish or Good Day to Die Hard. It was one of the last two Die Hard movies.
Yeah.
And he was like, I would like to see what Butch has been up to. That's a good character to revisit. And I'm like, damn it. Fuck, I would have watched.
But I do think if Spike Lee though did do Luke Cage, I think there'd be a fucking random MSG scene with the Knicks somewhere around there.
He got to, like, it would have to be it would be a set piece. Like Spike Lee would find a way for somebody to get chased through the Knicks game, and Luke Cage come in and block the door, and like so it would be one of those types of situations. But yeah, of course he would. I didn't even think of that shit. He definitely would. It would only be worth something if the Knicks were having a winning season, which I don't think they're going to see for some decades to come, people. I'm sorry, Knicks fans out there.
They were close a couple years ago.
Was that when they had Melo?
Yeah. No. Yeah, I think so, yeah.
They still have do they still have Julius
2018? No, he retired. I think Melo retired.
No, Julius Randle. Does New York still have Julius Randle over there?
Oh, I don't know.
I hope so, because they better pay Julius Randle. Julius Randle's one of the ones that got away from us, man. He just wasn't what he is now when he played for the Lakers, man. But if they got him over there still, they better fucking pay him, man. They better pay him for real. Because he's a gem, man.
He's still with them, but they might trade him to Charlotte.
Charlotte?
Yeah, they might trade him to Charlotte. That's what came up.
Charlotte's still a team? I don't know, man. I don't know. Charlotte's got they got LaMelo Ball. That young boy is a problem. But Charlotte ain't going nowhere no time soon. Sorry to the Charlotte fans out there as well, but it's not going to happen anytime soon. Y'all better get something around that boy LaMelo. Is it LaMelo or Leand? No, it's LaMelo. LaMelo, LiAngelo, and Lonzo. All LeVar Ball's kid. I want LeVar to like sit the fuck down. Like, please, sit your ass and shut the fuck up all the way up. I can't stand that dude.
Yeah, motherfuckers on Black TV like last week.
She's talking shit, man. If all three of us could hoop and was in the NBA entrepreneurs, I'm shutting the fuck up. The proof is in the pudding. I don't have to say anything. My kids are successful as shit, and so am I. My family is good. I wouldn't say a fucking word, but he just can't shut up. Can't shut up. This turned into a whole different episode for a second.
What's your number 4 before we start going in on LeVar Ball, Big Baller Brand?
No, 5. We're on 5.
You're 5. Yeah, you're number 5.
Well, we almost there. Home stretch, people. The home stretch. My number 5. It's a remake that's long overdue. I don't know. This is the one I was talking about where I said I don't know. I think one of these people were rumored at some point. Just a rumor, a very loose rumor. I'm not sure of all the facts. I want to say it was, but either way, this is it's another remake of a remake. And if you guys saw the last remake in 2010, y'all know exactly why it's on this list. My number 5 is A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh,
and the directors I got.
That's actually next. That's actually the next one on my list.
Oh, cool. We could both just go in though. Now I'm curious as to who you got.
Okay.
Because I got. I hope you got one of these. At least one of them. Ain't no way you got both of them. But I got. You ready?
Yeah.
I got Andy Muschietti.
Bingo.
And I got Mike Flanagan.
No.
Okay. All right. I was
in the show. Alejandro Aja. I had Andy Muschietti and Alejandro Alexander Aja as my directors. I know Aja had expressed interest at the time of Platinum Dunes, and he wanted to do Nightmare on Elm Street. I picked Andy Muschietti because I think he could pull off those nightmares.
You talking about yeah. You talking about he wanted to do this after or before the remake came out?
Before.
Oh, wow.
He was lobbying for this movie. He was lobbying for the movie before they called Sam Breyer. And like, dude, you should have called me. I would have fucking done it, and I would have fucking done it for cheap. And I would have given you a good fucking movie. This is why we can't have nice things, man.
They went with, okay, at the time, this guy had already did High Tension. I'm not a fan of that movie, but it was a big thing and people loved it. Put this guy on the map for the most part. Then he did The Hills Have Eyes. At this point,
did he do Mirrors?
He did Mirrors. I'm not crazy about it, but it's listen. Did he do Piranha 3D at the time, or was that after?
Yes.
You can't be serious, man. Like, so you picked an inexperienced music. I'm not even listen. That director Samuel Bayer, I have nothing against that guy, but you went with an inexperienced music video director. You know why they did that shit, man? Because they saw, oh, Marcus Nispel did the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He's a music video director, and that movie blew up. Look at Rob Zombie. He's a music video director and a music guy, and he did Halloween. Let's find Samuel Bayer and have him do what could possibly be one of the greatest, if not the greatest slasher remake of all time, man, because they got carte fucking blanche to do whatever they want with the dream shit. And instead you got Mr. Bayer. People are stupid, man. You know,
dude, I didn't know Marcus Nispel directed 6 Minutes of Pleasure by LL Cool J. He did Billy Joel Lullaby. He did All for One, I swear. He did the Pushmaker Breakthrough?
He's been around for a while, yo. He's been around for a long time. But the thing is, you know, they got happy feet with this let's hire a music video director shit.
Yo, Marcus Nispel did Puffy's best video, Victory.
Did he really?
Yeah, he directed that.
Yeah, he's been around for a while, man, and he did a. I was surprised that they got him to come back to do Friday the 13th because that shit he could have got fatigued. It's not as good as Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but the fact that they got him to come back and do another, big slasher icon, that's why they got that motherfucker to do Nightmare on Elm Street, man, because they thought, oh well, we're on a roll with these music directors. Let's just keep the train going. Nah, because he gave you a shit remake. Gave you a shit remake. Wait, who'd you say? Andy Muschietti and Aya?
Yeah, Alexander. I don't know. This goes back to the Leone Bruckner debate. It's tough because you're gonna get two different movies.
I know, yo.
I think just from from a stylistic point, I think Muschietti would have it, but from a terrifying and a pure horror movie, I think Aja has it. But one of the things about Nightmares is that it's spectacle. It's surreal, and I think Muschietti can do that very well. I think he knows how to blend in the realism with surrealism and blend it very well and actually make Freddy feel larger than life. Where I think Aja would make Freddy feel much more scary again.
He did, I will never forget when somebody said that Andy Muschietti directed a better Dream Warriors movie than he said he directed a better Nightmare on Elm Street Dream Warriors type of movie than the guy who did the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. And I was like, mind blown when somebody said that. I was like, yo, you're right. Yeah, man, like you said, stylistically, Muschietti's that guy, man. He's going to have Freddy shapeshift. He's going to take all the liberties he can with the dream sequences. He has dream sequences, or not even really dream sequences, but basically hallucinations for the most part in the It movies. Imagine what he's going to do when you're running up a flight of steps and the steps give way and there's a dolly zoom times 20 coming in. He's going to go, Doctor Strange crazy with the camera tricks, man.
Imagine what he's gonna do with oh my god, I just thought of the set piece right now. Holy shit, I just forgot. The Tina scene. Imagine what he'd do with oh my fucking god, I just had it and I was looking something up and made me lose it. I'm trying to think of, he didn't do Mama, right?
Andy Muschietti, he did do Mama.
He did do Mama?
Yeah. He did. That was one of the early movies.
That's Machete. Okay. Okay, there it is. I think I would go with Andres Machete. Honestly, I would go with him.
Yeah, and I'm going with Machete. I'm going with Machete over Flanagan on my list too. Mike Flanagan, I only picked him because I was really a believer when somebody said it online. It was like, yo, he should do Nightmare on Elm Street. It wasn't until I watched Dr. Sleep for the second time and really appreciated it. I was like, yeah, he could do something. As far as the rest of his
Fall of House of Usher, that watching that, because he did that, makes me think that he could do an Elm Street type movie. But I just think Machete would have more fun with it. Yeah.
And, you know, we would probably get the Freddy Spider that we were supposed to get in New Nightmare. Did you ever hear about that shit? We were supposed to get it.
Yeah.
And it's like
it was Robert Englund that was stuck in the web. It was Robert Englund, and it was Freddy coming through the web.
They said that they felt like it didn't really fit the aesthetic of the movie because the movie was probably like the most grounded.
But
yeah, exactly.
You have fucking like thousands of Freddy fucking closing in on the 405. Like, what the fuck? Like that? He's like he shapeshifts into the cloud. Like, get the fuck out of here. I mean, I guess I can see the point, but
if they would have saved it for the end of the movie, I would have bought it. Like, the rest of the movie's fine, grounded in realism. But if you would have saved the Freddy Spider for the end, I wouldn't even have given a shit that they already did it in the It movie from the 90s, because that spider looked like shit in the original series. But if we would have gotten the Freddy Spider...
My dog.
All right. So I guess now comes the awkward moment, everybody, where I got to keep you motherfuckers company. So we're going to find something random to talk about on IMDb until Johnny gets back. Now, what do we got here? We got a whole bunch of weird shit. We got, I don't know, I'm just randomly looking through these movies to find something to speak about so it doesn't get weird. Totally Killer's on here. I don't know how many of y'all have seen Totally Killer, but it is one of the reasons why I want Blumhouse to stop doing this this lazy killer shit. You know, Blumhouse really, I was excited to see Totally Killer, but Blumhouse, they marketed this shit like they were showing the Purge mask, and they were showing Happy Death Day, and they were showing Freaky, like all the masks that they got for these slashers that they got in the, for their company. And they were like, who's going to be Blumhouse's next slasher? And I watched Totally Killer, and the opening is great, man. The opening, I won't spoil it for anybody that hasn't seen it. The opening was great, but the rest of the movie is just it's just the same shit that they do with all these other slashers. Yeah, I was talking about Totally Killer.
Yeah, I did not hear that.
Yeah,
Totally Killer. Back to the Future meets what? What did I say in my review? It was like Back to the Future meets Happy Death Day or something like that. I thought it was fun. I had a fun time with it.
I was trying. I had high hopes after the opening. I was saying that opening was great when the mom was so prepared, like she had a gun under the counter in the kitchen and shit. She had a whole fail-safe system just to get fucking killed. But I don't know. Blumhouse is, I love that they're the new horror.
The only thing I have about Nightmare on Elm Street is that it should not be done by Blumhouse. That's the only thing.
No. They can't afford Freddy. They can't afford him. We don't want a cheap Nightmare on Elm Street movie. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to sound materialistic, but Nightmare on Elm Street has to have money behind it. It has to have some of the wildest creativity behind it. Mm-hmm. We don't want Blumhouse with that shit. No.
No. Okay, well that. So the Nightmare on Elm Street took up mine because that was my number 4.
Okay.
So then that would be your number 4 now.
My number 4. This is a weird one because It's low key been done to death. Some in good ways, some in bad ways. There was already a remake. There was a loose remake that could kind of almost maybe sort of serve as a sequel. And then there's another remake that came out with a returning character. And it's like, well, is this the character from the remake or what the fuck is going on? So it's been done to death. There was another remake that was dead in the water at some point after no news came out.
How many remakes are there?
Huh?
How many remakes are there?
3, technically. There's 3. There's the original, and then there's 3 remakes.
I have a feeling I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, so my number 4 is Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Now
I thought you were going with that.
My what if, it's time to get a little weird here. My what if directors are Ari Aster. That's number 1. Yeah, I told you it's time to get weird. And my second pick is Mark Milo from, the guy that did The Menu. Did you see The Menu yet?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I like Ari Aster. It is really hard for a director to make me uncomfortable. And Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the original is great. I just went back and watched the original earlier this week, and it's still great. But that remake with Donald Sutherland, that is an uncomfortable movie to watch. Like the acting performances, man.
Shout out to New York, right there.
Some of the acting performances are just awkward, like in a good way. It adds to the weird, creepy ambiance of the whole movie. Ari Aster is a guy who specializes in disturbing the shit out of people, myself included. Like, just based off of Hereditary and Midsommar, I'm scared to watch something strange about the Johnsons or whatever it's called.
Bro, that is, you want to be uncomfortable? Yeah, you're gonna need like a fucking cushion after you watch that.
I know what it's hitting for. I know what happens with that father and son, and I just don't understand I don't get it. Like, why does this movie exist? It's like Gummo. Like, why did y'all make this?
I haven't seen Gummo.
You haven't seen Gummo?
I haven't seen Gummo, but I've seen Kids. Go figure. And it's done by the same guy. Well, technically, it was written by the same guy. It was written by the same guy, not directed by the same guy. Excuse me.
Harmony Korine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, that dude he's fucking out. Yo, you gotta see Gummo. There was a clip I put up a while back where these 2 dudes are in the kitchen fighting. Like, it's a movie, but Gummo's not really a movie. It's like, it's a documentary. I feel like it's a mockumentary, but I feel like he just found a lot of these people. Yo, I'm making a movie. You want to be in this? All right, let me go get a midget. Let me get these 2 brothers that aren't scared to beat the fuck out of each other on screen.
The only reason I know about that movie is because of Belly. Because that's what he's watching. That's what he's watching. He stinks like shit.
Things smell like about shit. I never knew. I thought that was a fake movie. All the years that I seen Belly, and then somebody I used to work with, I ain't gonna say his name, but he put me onto it. He was like, "You never seen Gummo?" I was like, "No." He really talks like that too. That's why I said I ain't gonna put his name out there. He probably know who the fuck he is if he watches it. He's like, "You never seen Gummo?" And I'm just like, "No, I've never seen it." He's like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna bring it to work the next day." Brought that shit to work. He's like, "You got a VHS player?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got a VHS DVD combo at the time." And he's like, "I'm gonna bring it." He bought that shit on the first thing smoking to work the next day, case and all. And I'm looking at the front cover. I'm like, okay, it's this ugly ass kid on the front cover. And I watched it. He's like, "Watch it, bring it back tomorrow." And I didn't bring it back because I said, I'm like, man, I gotta watch this shit again because I'm not really sure what I saw. And I'm not sure how to feel about it. But damn. If Invasion of the Body Snatchers was directed by Harmony Korine, we in trouble. Like, we're really in trouble.
That'd be fucking nuts. Just think about it this way: directed by Ari Aster, written by Harmony Korine. That is trouble.
Yeah, it is. Mark Milo wouldn't even like. I don't know. I would say he could just produce it, but he'll probably just be like, "Nah, y'all got it." You
Yeah, like,
chilling.
nah, I'm good. I'm gonna go do my own thing.
I only picked Mark Milo because the menu is they move like you said you haven't seen it, right?
What, the menu? No, I've seen the menu.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, but you know how the staff they maneuver like a cult. You know, like their
Very
turns are all
military
sharp.
like.
Exactly, they're military like. Their turns are sharp. Their dialogue is just straight laced and straight to the point. You know, they are very much. We are following this demonic leader type of thing. So I think that they can bring. I still feel like even with all the remakes they've had, there should be a one called The Return of the Body Snatchers.
I think
Because where did they go?
part of the Return of the Body Snatchers.
If they is, they stole it. They stole it from me.
There's a mixtape called The Return of the Body Snatchers by 50 Cent.
Oh my God. There's a 50 Cent reference in all of our episodes, I'm convinced.
Just about.
Yeah, man. Almost every time. Yeah, that's my number 4 though. Make the Body Snatchers all over again.
Okay, you want to know weird? This one's fucking weird, and this one has no right ever being made. This has no right being made at all on any motherfucking level. Sci-fi, TV, ABC, doesn't fucking matter. This shit has never been made, but one of them was made because one of these movies was written by Sylvester Stallone, and he turned it into Cobra. Beverly Hills Cop, directed by, what if it was directed by Sylvester Stallone or Martin Scorsese? Martin Scorsese was actually considered by Paramount to direct a Beverly Hills Cop at one point.
That's
But he turned it down because he's like, Martin Scorsese is like, I don't do comedy.
I could just see him now in an interview. What do you mean? What do you mean comedy? I don't know how to be funny. The fuck out of here.
And it's Sylvester Stallone directing Beverly Hills Cop. Originally, he was supposed to star in Beverly Hills Cop
as Axel Foley.
Well, no, his name was not going to be Axel. It's going to be something else. But the movie Cobra, that is actually the script for Beverly Hills Cop 2 that he wrote for them, but they said it was too tough.
I have never seen Cobra. It is on my Sylvester Stallone never seen before list though.
Yeah, Beverly Hills Cop, Sylvester. Either way, either of these choices are not good. This is going to be a different fucking movie. I can only imagine Scorsese doing Beverly Hills Cop and doing it and making it into this 1930s, 1940s movie about the Hat Squad and corruption and shit like that. I could totally see Sylvester Stallone doing this movie as a grindhouse action movie in vein of Out for Justice or Marked for Death. I could see that.
Sylvester Stallone.
I think I'd go with Stallone here, honestly. Just because I think Stallone is more suited for action and comedy. Yeah. Even though he himself is not funny.
Absolutely, yeah. But, that's to say that he's not against it. Sylvester Stallone's not too cool to look goofy on screen. I mean, fucking did King Shark's voice, for God's sake. He's not afraid to.
Early on, he was. If we're talking about this Stallone, when he's just coming out Rocky and what was the other one? He did Rocky, did Lock Up, Rambo. You know what I mean? Yeah, at that point in time, 88, 87, 85, I don't think he would have been okay with, doing the goofy shit.
Okay, yeah. I keep forgetting you talking about a certain time frame because I'm thinking like Demolition Man. Oh yeah, he definitely would have I'll be funny. What do you guys want me to say? Type of thing.
Oscar. Johnny Dangerous. Like he only did those movies to compete with Schwarzenegger because Schwarzenegger was like running laps.
I remember hearing Oscar. Oh, here it is.
You remember
91 this came out.
where you played the mob boss?
Oh, it's a gangster movie. Oh, John Landis did this?
Yeah, it's a comedy. One of his first ones.
I am fucked. I don't know why I assumed that Oscar was the same as Junior, where Arnold got pregnant. I was about to be like, did Stallone get pregnant in this movie? Oh, that dude's in here who plays in every fucking gangster movie. Chaz
Palminteri, yeah.
You said that shit. What is it? Paul Palminteri. That's it. Oh, I've been making his last name way more complicated than it ever had to be. Yeah, but he's the same guy in every single movie. I think the last one I watched him in was Running Scared. He's like, have a Mai Tai on me, guys. It's just like,
oh my god, that was great. That was fucking great impression right there.
I was like that in every single. He's the same character in you seen Legend with Tom Hardy, starring Tom Hardy.
I have not seen Legend. Not seen Legend. That's the one with the diner, right? With Paul Bettany and shit like that, where he's protecting the pregnant waitress.
Yes.
Right.
Oh man, Legend with Tom Hardy is oh no, that's Legion.
Legion. Okay.
Legend. Legend with Tom Hardy.
We're talking about the twins. The two twins. The Craze. No, I have not seen that one.
Man, that it's good. It's good. I don't know how. But the way that the scenes play out with Tom Hardy, you can see him touch his own shoulder. Like Reggie will touch Ronald's shoulder, and you see like the fabric on the suit move and shadows intertwine and shit. I don't know how long it took to film that movie. It looks great. And there's a scene where they both fight each other. They get into an argument about the girl, and then they fight. They beat the hell out of each other in this bar sequence, man. It is funny as shit, but I don't know how they filmed it because it's like one shot takes of them slapping each other across the room. It's fucking brilliant, man. Yeah, it gets there, but they beat the shit out of each other. Like they're biting each other. The one crazy brother, Ronald Cray, tries to rip Reggie's balls off. Like, yeah, they're fighting for real. Yeah, they are fighting for real. Shit. They're breaking bottles over each other's heads and shit. Yeah, it's crazy, bro. It's wild. The movie is crazy. But Chaz is in that shit too. And he's just like, why don't you guys like he
plays the rival Italian mob boss.
Same fucking character, trying to cut a deal up in there. He's the same guy. Every movie he's in.
Gotta watch him in The Usual Suspects.
Oh yeah, he's the guy that's interviewing all of them, right?
Yeah.
I've only seen that movie once.
Well, really?
Yeah. I have only seen it once. Yeah, that's my that is my number 4. That's what it is.
Okay, well that was my number 3, so you're on your number 3 now.
Oh shit, that's right.
Wait,
what was your number?
Beverly Hills Cop.
Okay, yeah, my number 3 is kind of sacrilegious because I think that this movie really doesn't need a remake, but a sick part of me wants one, and we are getting one. There is one on the way. It's not by a director that everybody's familiar with. I didn't know who the fuck this guy was, but I feel like these two people, one of them you mentioned earlier in the show, could definitely pull this off. But my number 3 is, what if they remade The Return of the Living Dead before this new guy gets it, which I'm scared about. But what if either Rob Zombie directed a Return of the Living Dead remake, or Robert Rodriguez? I feel like I know who you're going to pick. Never mind. Change my mind.
This is tough. You know what? I'm going to go with Rob Zombie. I'm
That's
gonna
what
go
I
with
thought
Rob
you was.
Zombie. I'm gonna go with Rob Zombie.
That's what I thought you
I,
were
I,
first.
I, I, I love Robert Rodriguez and I love his guerrilla filmmaking style, but I think Rob Zombie is just more because of his background, House of a Thousand Corpses, 31. You look at Lords of Salem. Like he has humor. He can do some shit like that, and because of that movie, because of how popular it was in the '80s, I really do think he can bring that '80s aesthetic back to it. You know what I mean?
Man,
I think the problem with Robert Rodriguez is that he would get so bogged down with budget, and he will cut corners and then often use CGI here and there, like rendering some of the effects. Like if you look at Once Upon a Time in Mexico, that's one of the reasons why I hate that fucking movie, because he uses CGI all over that movie because he said it was cheaper than using blanks and squibs. I'm like, dude, this looks like shit. I can't
oh, he
deal with
uses
it.
it for gunshot wounds.
Mm-hmm.
I've only seen that movie once too, and I watched it only because I was like, oh, Johnny Depp's in here. Oh, Eva Mendes is in here.
Willem
But I
Dafoe
didn't.
plays a fucking Mexican cartel boss. That is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I only watched it once because I was familiar with Desperado, but I've never seen El Mariachi. Never saw that first one.
El Mariachi is like film as a filmmaker and as a writer, you should definitely watch that because
El Mariachi.
See, yeah, you know how much he filmed that for? $10,000.
That's cheap.
And
that's less than they filmed Halloween.
Five of it went to the renting of the cameras, and the other 5 went to post production. And all those other shots, he stole.
That's got to be like what his first film.
That's his first film. Yeah,
makes sense.
Yeah,
humble beginnings, man. Love that shit.
I would have to go with Rob Zombie though, just because like if you look at his music videos, if you look at his movies, I think he would get it a little bit more than Robert Rodriguez. And not to say that Robert Rodriguez wouldn't get it, but I think he'd be at home. I think that's what I'm saying in that kind of environment.
Yeah. I don't give a fuck, man. I've been just targeted online in comment sections for, when people are like, there was a Return of the Living Dead group I was in once upon a time, and shout out to them. Like, they didn't do anything wrong, but you got those, I go back to the cult word. You got those fucking cult followers. It's like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. It should never be remade. And I'm like, yeah, well, nothing's sacred. So if we did have a remake for the sake of argument, who would y'all get to do it? Like, let's have fun with it at some point. And when I said Rob Zombie, everybody went off. It was like, what the fuck? Like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And I'm like, no, y'all don't get it. Rob Zombie, who better than a rocker to bring a punk rock 80s zombie horror comedy that's way darker than people give it credit for, back to life. Like, pun intended, bring it back to life. The soundtrack's going to be popping. His sense of style with these characters is going to be popping. It's not like, a lot of people make fun of Rob Zombie's dialogue. It's not all trailer park dialogue. It's not, man. Is it going to be as witty as the dialogue from the original movie? I don't know. But, huh?
Can you read that?
What's that say?
Trailer Park of Terror.
What the hell is that?
This is an anthology movie that takes place at a redneck trailer park starring Jamie Presley and Trace Adkins. Trace Adkins is a famous country singer who's like one of those like rebel type country singers. This fucking movie is insane.
That's a real movie?
This is a real fucking movie, dude. And it is insane. When you just said the trailer park thing, it made me think of this movie right here.
Shit really is a goddamn a real movie. And Lou Temple, speaking of Rob Zombie and Rob Zombie familiars, Lou Temple's in it.
Yeah, and Jamie basically plays this like crypt keeper type character where she like narrates and has like a wraparound. And it's so funny too because it takes place in one trailer park and the stories take place in different trailers throughout the park. It's fucking hilarious.
Another Rob Zombie familiar. Dwayne Whitaker's in here. Dwayne Whitaker, like Dwayne Whitaker, man, has been around for so long, so long. I hate that he was one of the guys in Zed's. He was the pawn shop owner in Pulp Fiction. I hated that he was that guy, but Dwayne Whitaker's the shit. He is. Yeah, I think, and I feel like I only pick Robert Rodriguez. I love Robert Rodriguez. I love that he low key. He is the guy. He's done Aliens. He's done zombies. He's done vampires. You know, but one of the things I got to remember with putting him on this list out of the two, I picked him from Return of the Living Dead because he did Planet Terror, but Planet Terror is more Dead Alive than it is Return of the Living Dead, if you get what I'm saying. Like, it is splatter gore. That was not really what the Return of the Living Dead has set out to do, other than some like brain munching moments and the Tar Man. There really isn't a lot of nasty shit, gore, icky sticky in that movie. But I don't know, I got a little sidetracked because Grindhouse really is, Planet Terror is Dead Alive in comparison. So I would
that'd be a
pick
great double feature, honestly.
Fuck yeah.
That'd be a great double feature.
I already did Planet Terror. I want to do Dead Alive this week. I want to do commentary for that, but I am not ready. I watched 5 minutes of it on YouTube where everybody wakes up.
You never seen it?
No, I've seen it, but I wanted to do it for the Thanksgiving, you know, the cannibal themed commentaries. But I watched the part where everybody's turning into zombies at the party, and I forgot how fucking crazy. I know it's crazy, but I forgot the girl.
Wait till you get to the brunch scene. That shit is fucking gnarly.
I remember that. That's gonna be hard to get through because that's when the mom's falling apart. I was telling my girl about that shit. I was like, "You never seen Dead Alive?" She's like, "No." I was like, "So because you made me sit through 50 Shades of Grey, and we got to watch the second and the third movie?" I said, "You about to watch Dead Alive with me one of these fucking days, and I'm gonna make sure we eat good before we watch that shit because it is." She thinks I'm joking, yo. She'd never seen it, and she think I'm joking about how nasty that shit is. I told her, I said, I was disgusted by that movie. That's why I don't always have a special place, but it is like that brunch scene. That's gonna be hard, man.
Yeah, that's
gonna be hard. Because I remember that shit, man, and it just doesn't stop. It just don't stop. Like when that boil busts open and it goes into the porridge, and then the dude is just eating it. It just doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. It does not let up. I can't believe Peter Jackson made that shit, dude. Man. Like how
you need to watch Meet the Feebles.
Is that's where they're bugs, right? I've never seen it.
It's the one with puppets, bro.
Is it?
Yeah,
oh wait.
It's like Garbage Pail Kids with fucking what was the other one? With Muppets. And then there's another one called Bad Taste that he did.
I've heard about that. That's the one where the alien's on the front cover like this.
Finger like that.
Flipping people off on the front cover. And I heard that, like I've seen one picture from it where the alien is eating out of the top of this guy's skull. Is that really in there, or is that like a production?
Yeah, that's in there.
Yeah. And I heard there's like a really nasty vomit sequence in there. So I don't know, man. Bad Taste it's one of those campfire stories that I'm scared to really see what it's really hitting for, because I don't know. I don't know, man.
Yeah, Meet the Feebles is fucking crazy though, dude. You gotta watch that one.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about Meet the Applegates, where they were bugs in this 1950s type of town or whatever. Or I don't know, it might have been a modern day town, but they were dressed like they were from the 50s or some shit. They were really cockroaches from outer space or something like that.
Yeah, this Meet the Feebles has violence, sex, and drug use, all with puppets. So it's awesome.
It's always good. Meet the Feebles. Oh, here we go. Meet the Feebles. Who the fuck is that? It's like a hippopotamus with a wig and a machine gun.
Yeah,
with a belt.
She's like the Jessica Rabbit of the movie.
Why would they even ever disrespect Jessica Rabbit like that?
That shit's hilarious, bro.
Peter fucking Jackson, man. The humble beginnings. I love it.
Yeah, this is one that I haven't seen, but this is one that I've always heard about, was Meet the Feebles. And I've only seen clips, I've only seen pictures, I've never seen the movie because they never released it online. So I have to go and dive deep for this shit.
You gotta scour the internet. It might be on that site where we did you check that site where we watched where we did the watch alongs from?
You know what? It's a good idea. Maybe I'll check that tonight after.
Yeah, because I bookmarked that page again because I was like, yo, they got some shit on there, man. I just watched Jerry Springer, Too Hot for TV, like the whole thing. The whole thing. Like, I watched the whole thing. I'm like, oh, I remember this episode. I remember this person told the boyfriend that she was a man. And I remember the Klan members on stage with this person. I remember all that shit. That was some good shit. I was looking for episodes of Making the Band on there. I didn't see any yet.
Oh my god, Making the Band.
Yeah, it's gonna break my heart to watch that shit, man. Like,
don't give me some pride, motherfucker.
Like, listen, shout out to all the band members. Big shouts out to them, but it's tough. It's tough to watch.
Okay. All right. So, all right. Well, what are we on now?
We on Deuce.
Deuce. Okay. All right. So this is one that actually okay. Now this comic book property has been around forever with so many interpretations. But at one point, these two directors were attached to bring back Batman to its former glory before Christopher Nolan did it with Batman Begins. And I'm talking about Batman Year One. I'm talking about David Fincher, once again, was attached to Year One, or Darren Aronofsky. Both these directors.
What did he do?
Black Swan, The Rustler, Pie, Mother, The Fighter. Oh, Requiem for
The Fighter. He did. Oh, that's this guy.
Yeah. The Whale.
Mother, I did not see. The Whale, I did not see. Black Swan, I did see. It was a very weird movie. Yo, he did Requiem for a Dream. So wait, he was supposed to do Batman Year One.
He was supposed to do Batman Year One before Christopher Nolan took before he dropped out and did something else. And Chris Nolan came out, took the idea for Year One and just made it Begins instead. But David Fincher was also approached by Warner Brothers to bring back Batman and make it much more darker and make it more of a detective story, which we would have seen much later with the Matt Reeves version in The Batman 2 years ago.
Fincher all day. I'm glad we spun the block on David Fincher here because I was just talking about how Blade. I don't know if I could see. Was it Blade we were talking about? Yeah, I was like, I can't. Blade's not a detective. Batman is a detective. David Fincher would have given us, up there with Christopher Nolan and Matt Reeves and low key some of the Zack Snyder shit and BVS. He would have gave us some of the best detective work we've ever fucking seen in a Batman movie, hands fucking down. Like, we would have been in the trenches with him. Every clue, every mystery, every hair follicle is going down. I'm picking, like, I like Aronofsky. The name I never really knew, but I did see Black Swan. I did see The
Wrestler. Have you seen The Wrestler?
Does that make it Rourke? I saw 2 seconds of it where he cut himself with the razor to make it seem like he was bleeding. That's the only part I've ever seen in that movie.
Oh man, you gotta watch that. That's a great movie.
Mother, I don't like Jennifer Lawrence, so I wasn't trying to see Mother. I'm sorry. I just
According to Jennifer Lawrence, that movie made them get them a divorce.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not about to watch her and
It's a weird
and Javier Bardem.
Like, you know how we're talking about the dude earlier with the Christian and all that? Like that's what that movie is. It really kind of hammers that home.
Yeah, but it seemed like they were advertising it as a horror movie, and it's like it's an art house, type of film, and that's fine, but
it's Genesis.
Stop fucking marketing.
Genesis.
The book.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Like you could have just said that. They could have just said that, but they're marketing the shit like it's an art house horror film. It's like
kind of is actually. It kind of is. Kind of is. It kind of is a horror movie, bro. It really is. It is a divisive movie, though. But here's another thing too. Aronofsky was also attached to the Wolverine before James Mangold got it.
The Wolverine?
The Wolverine. The one when he's in Japan?
I would have watched Aronofsky's Broslovsky. I would have watched Ofsky's version over, because I'm sorry, like, unpopular opinion, I'm not that big a fan of the Wolverine. I'm sorry, I like X-Men Origins. I like what X-Men Origins does right, and I like the tone of it, and I love Logan, but that middle movie, The Wolverine, was kind of just, it was just, eh. All right,
I think the last 10 minutes of that movie really fails with the Silver Samurai.
Yeah, I didn't care at that point. I didn't care about him fighting Silver Samurai. What's the name was good in it though? Scorpion. Hyrule.
Sanada.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said that. It sounded like it. Yeah, my voice got all warbled up like a yak back. Nah, I would have definitely took Aronofsky's version of that second movie for sure. But as far as the Batman year, what fucking Fincher. Oh man. And give me whatever little horror moments of Alien 3 he did. Put that in the Batman year one. Whichever ones he did. Fuck the studio involvement. Whichever ones he did, because Alien 3 is one of those movies I want to go back on and watch the assembly cut, and I want to learn to appreciate little things about it. I feel like I'm very hard on that movie for some of the wrong reasons.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. I think I would go with Fincher as well. I think Fincher would have done a fucking great job bringing Batman into like the 22nd century. I think Fincher there. We would have gotten the Batman much more sooner than 2019, 2020, 2021 or something like that. Yeah,
and I'm wondering who he would have casted as Batman in there too.
Adrian Brody.
I'm thinking he was gonna keep it in line with the Fincher familiars and say maybe Brad Pitt. I know it's a stretch, but fucking Adrian. All I thought of was him in Predators.
That's why. Like, again, dude, if you can find the commentary track to Predators, listen to it. Fucking Robert Rodriguez clowns him for his voice choice, bro. It is fucking amazing.
I've got it saved. It's a YouTube channel, Cinema Voice, and I've got it saved. I got it bookmarked in my commentaries on the YouTube folder. That is one of them I think I got on there, is Predators. And I know is it Robert Rodriguez and the director, Nimrod Natal? I think it's them two. I did not know he makes fun of the voice. Now I gotta listen to that shit. I'll probably listen to it tonight.
Toward the end of the movie where like he starts doing the when they try to replicate the Arnold shot with him in flames, and he's like, look, he's doing that because he makes fun of the abs also. It's like, yeah, he's trying really hard to be Batman. I think he was trying to be Batman.
Yeah, and then the scene where they're standing at the edge of the reserve and preserve whatever, and then they're all looking up at the planets, and he's like, "We're gonna need a new plan." It's like, what are you saying? You're right next to me, and I can't fucking hear what you're saying. Like stop. I do not like. Oh God, I'm sorry, people. I don't like Adrian Brody in that.
In that
I
role.
I just don't buy it.
It's,
don't buy it at all, man.
If it was someone else, I think that movie would have been. I think that movie would have gone down a little bit easier.
With the exception of him being ripped because he actually works out, he's my size. You mean to tell me he's taking on these predators? His fucking like, there's no way, man. I don't care how big the gun is he shoots. He's got a cool ass gun. That fatigue gun with the frisbee clip. That shit is fire.
Yeah, the assault shotgun.
Yeah, but I just don't like. You could have put anybody in the front, lead pack instead of him, except for Topher Grace. I wouldn't even take him seriously if they would have let him lead the pack. I would have followed Adrian Brody, but anybody but Topher Grace, like, you could have put Danny Trejo in there. He would have had his own machete on another planet.
Oh my God, he finally got his machete in space.
They did it already? It's coming out?
No, I said he would have gotten it if he had been the lead.
He wants to do it. They want to do it. I still got to see the second one.
I haven't seen the second one.
The second one's got.
The only reason I have not watched the second one is because of wait, no, never mind. I'm confusing it with the first one because the first one had Steven Seagal in it.
Oh man, what's the chick's name?
Oh wait,
that's in part 2. Sofia Vergara. Woof. Spicy quesadilla. She's in there and she's got those she got the fembot titties that shoot bullets. Kind of like the Madonna, like when Madonna was wearing those, those. Y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sofia Vergara. I don't know if I want to say Jessica Alba's in it.
No, she's in the first one.
Okay, yeah, she's in the first one. You got Michelle Rodriguez and Sofia Vergara. Take me away.
Hey, stop. Where? I know this motherfucker's in this movie somewhere. Where is he? Oh my God, this fucking dog.
That's what that is. I was not sure what that sound was.
Like a dog. It's like, dude.
It sounded like it was like. Argh.
Oh yeah, yeah. Steven Seagal is in the first one.
Oh, that's good. Good for Steven, man. Still a good old Steven. Steven Seagal's a funny guy, man.
Yeah, I'm doing a fucking ranking of my favorite Steven Seagal movies, and I only have 2.
Shit. I don't.
Why Richie do Bobby Lupo? Huh? Why you do Bobby Lupo? That's my favorite line of all time.
It's the 32nd anniversary of Cape Fear. Did not know that.
All right.
I watched that.
What is your number 2?
Well, my number 2, this is actually, my number 2 involves a name that we spin in the block on again, because you brought him up also. I'm not going to say what movie you brought him up for. I'll just get into it. My number 2 is, what if they remade Demons, 1985? I think the original Lamberto Bava, Dario Argento did that. So my first pick for what if they directed this is Fede Alvarez. I know he's done the demon shit before, but the way he handled those practical effects in a realistic, craziest shit I've ever seen manner in The Evil Dead, was that 2013?
Yeah,
he could do it again. I would love to see him do an encore performance with Demons if he did Demons, like in a movie theater. My second pick is somebody you mentioned, Damian Leone, to do Demons.
Ooh.
This is another case.
I said Columbus.
Oh, no. Chris Columbus's Demons? Yo, I'm telling you now, The only way that movie works, Chris Columbus's Demons, is if all the child actors from his movies come to play adult characters in the movie theater. Like you get Macaulay Culkin, get that little girl from I almost said Beverly Hills Doubt, from Mrs. Doubtfire. All that shit. Get all of the kids to play the characters in the Metropole movie theater. But it's another one of those things, and I'm not saying that Demons is big on, like, I'm not saying it's the best script in the world. I'm not saying it's the best acting. This is another one of those things where I think we were comparing Bruckner to somebody else, where it was like, aesthetically, a certain person should make this movie, but as far as like the gore and everything, like, we know Damien Leone, Terrifier guy, look, man, if he applies half of what he did with the Terrifier effects with Demons, because it's all practical, you're already halfway home. But Fede Alvarez, I feel like structurally, Fede Alvarez might be my overall pick, and I feel like it could be taken more seriously if he does it. I mean, if Damien Leone does it, I'm not saying that it's not going to be taken seriously, but there's going to be, people are going to be like, okay, where's the funny? Like, where's the funny parts? Where's the comedy? Where's the dark humor? There's little to no humor at all in the original Demons movie, unless if
you watch it dubbed, it's fucking hilarious. So. Oh
yeah, you got to.
If you
gotta watch
it dubbed, it's like they're not even synced.
The only way to really, like, I feel like the real ones know. Like, you know, when you watch a version of it on YouTube and it's been dubbed over, the music changes a little bit, but you know what that original version sounds like. I'll never forget it because I had it, somebody's VHS, and they recorded that when it came on TV, and they recorded the Devonsville Terror and a bunch of other movies on one tape. So I know what it all sounds like. That dubbed version is magic, even when they shit don't sync up. Because when those dudes and that girl are in the car snorting coke, they lines, I don't know who the fuck is talking at some point, because there's moments where the camera's not on anybody and you don't really know who's talking because the guys sound alike in some of the scenes. The only one you know who's talking is the girl. That's really about it.
And she sounds nothing like her person. She has like a high-pitched voice. Like, what the fuck? Like, what is this? Like, you smoke like fucking 3 packs a day, bitch. You should have a deeper voice than that.
3 packs a day amongst other things. There's a chick, man. What's that?
I was gonna say, for me, I would have to go with Leone, just because it's like the original Demons is balls to the wall. And I think Leone is, again, like I said, he's that fuck you type of filmmaker. And besides, Demons has the balls to do something at the end that very few movies do. Kill off your main character.
Right. That is right.
You know what I mean? And structurally, there's really no structure to the movie. It's just a bunch of fucking people trying to get the fuck out. So I think Leone would have much more fun with that, honestly.
That is the point. I did not take into consideration the ending that they did. And like you said, not a lot of people do that. It's not a safe thing to do. And Damien Leone definitely doesn't play his shit safe, where Fede Alvarez, Evil Dead, as wild as it was, he killed the main character, but they brought her back. But he had the balls to kill her. It's like, do you keep her dead or you bring her back? No, they resuscitated her or whatever the fuck they did. When she came back to life. So that is a good
thing with Don't Breathe also. He did the same thing also, where he didn't really pull the trigger at the end.
I mean, no, you're right. He killed Dylan Minetti's character, though, which was some bullshit. All because of the fucking the fellas. Stay out the friend zone. Stay the fuck away from the friend zone. It will get you nowhere.
It'll get you nowhere. That's what I get. That's what it gets you. It gets you fucking killed.
Yeah. That's exactly. It'll get you somewhere, not where you want to be. Yeah. Trust me. That is the worst. Don't Breathe is the worst example of being in the fucking friend zone that you could ever see in a movie, man. Ever. It's terrible. He deserved it. He didn't deserve it, but he earned it.
Yeah, he did. Fucking dumbass.
Fucking
Yeah, I think Leone is the better. I think he's a better director for that, for Demons. Honestly, I like Fetty, and I think Fetty could bring us like a really good movie. But to have someone to have the essence and the spirit of what that original was, of what that what Bava and Argento wanted, I think Leone has it. I think he's the one that could really, again, Demons was balls to the wall filmmaking, and again, like I said earlier, Damien Leone is our balls to the wall filmmaker. He goes for it. Demons is the movie that goes for it. It really did.
The question is, do you include the motorbike sequence, or do you do something different? Would you want to see that recreated, or would you want them to just leave that shit alone? And I don't know, maybe he'll be on like a go-kart or something.
No, because that's how they escape. That's how they escape, is through the motorbike. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, the motorbike.
The helicopter crashes through the roof.
Listen, man. There's fix the plot holes if we remake this shit too, because where did the fucking helicopter come from? That movie, Demons, is amazing, but it's got plot holes that cannot be ignored, man. Yeah, like George was a jack of all trades. He's like, not only can I, maneuver this dirt bike like no other, like Evel Knievel, but I can wield the katana, like I was in, like I was
Samurai Cop.
Yeah, like fucking Samurai Cop or some shit. And, I know how to operate helicopters, because remember, he's trying the helicopter and then the blades start moving and cut the demons around him. And not only can I do that, but I'm also James Bond's understudy, where I can shoot grapple hooks and latch them onto me and my lady and just get us up to safety. It's like, who are you? Like, is that the plot twist where it's just like George was really revealed to be a super soldier who was infiltrating the Metropole Theater? Like, did we need all that? No. But can we get some fucking explanation as to what the fuck George was? And his homie died. What's his name? Ken.
Yeah.
Poor Ken died from being in the fucking friends again, for being in the friend zone. He was trying to impress this bitch, and they ended up at the movie theater. Horror movie. Horror movie.
All that.
Okay, yeah, it's all bad.
Yeah, I'm Damien Leone for my pick. Just because I think he made use of those plot holes.
God damn, it's plot holes. And okay, this is another thing. Nobody went to the Metropole before? Like, did it just pop the fuck up and they just made it? Because the guy's just like, here, you can have this. You take this. He's just handing out tickets, and everybody just took tickets. Oh, we never heard of this guy or the theater. Let's go see this movie we got for free. Stupid. What happened to the doors? They just got brick walled up. The demons had a construction crew outside of the Metropole Theater, and they're like,
they had the mob on speed dial. Like, hey man, once we play this movie, you need to fucking start doing that shit. Start laying those bricks.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they had to, as soon as the projector started the movie, they was out there putting the brick wall up there. I'm like, what happened? Oh, what happened? How did the blind guy? He was the only one to escape out the theater. Is the guy who can't see. I love that movie though, man.
That's the blind guy in the fucking movie theater.
That is. I mean, his daughter Liz had took him out
to the movie theater.
And how did he know? Because remember when we first see them, he's like, Liz, and she's like, yes, father, and he's like, don't touch it. She's like, touch what? And he's like, the mask. And then he reaches for it and it's gone. And then that's when the hooker puts it on. Mm-hmm. Like, how do? Yeah, listen, you ain't trained like that. Like, he act like he's Donnie Yen in John Wick, where he could like hear faces and shit. You hear everything.
You smell like faces.
Yeah, you smell faces. You smell colors. I'm not buying it, man. That movie, yeah, plot holes galore, man.
But it is an awesome fucking movie, though. It is an awesome fucking watch.
I put the plot holes aside for that one because that movie is insane, yo.
Yeah.
Anybody that has not seen Demons 1985, please do yourself a favor.
Go watch that shit.
Is it considered giallo horror?
No, giallo horror is more like murder mystery.
Suspiria and shit like that.
Yeah, I guess kind of, because in Suspiria it's really kind of like a murder mystery, because giallo is really like Italian word for mystery. So, like Friday the 13th, the original Friday the 13th movie is considered to be a giallo film, because that's what a giallo film is. So when you look at a giallo film, like look at that movie, because that is an American version of what a giallo film is.
Makes sense. Gotcha.
Okay. My number one is one that makes me so fucking mad that it didn't fucking happen more than any of the other movies on this list. This one, because this actually fucking happened. And it was a fucking piece of shit fucking 10-part episode on Paramount Plus that no one gave a fuck about, because no one gave a fuck about it. And now they're retooling season 2 and making it all POV, which is fucking stupid, if the rumors to be believed. I am talking about Halo.
Ooh!
Now,
there were two
prominent directors, two prominent visionary directors attached to this property.
I remember one.
One we talked about earlier, Peter Jackson.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we did.
And the other was Neil Blomkamp. Now, Neil Blomkamp actually had test footage for Halo that he recycled for District 9. Like the weapons test, that was supposed to be all for Halo. Those were all like commercials and infomercials for like the weapons for Halo. Peter Jackson actually had a script and had an idea on what he'd do, but he left to do the fucking Hobbit. Like, why? No one gives a fuck about the Hobbit.
Yeah, they don't. Like, we've done this before. We've done this dance 3 fucking times already, and you want to do spin-offs and shit.
Yeah, and it's a fucking prequel on top of that. And the Hobbit's only one fucking book, and you try to stretch it out into fucking 3 movies? Get the fuck out of here with that. Get the fuck out of here.
I remember Peter Jackson, but I did not know Neil Blomkamp was about to touch Halo.
Yeah, Neil Blomkamp was about to touch Halo. Like, District 9, that whole ending, you look at it, those were all recycled items that he was supposed to use for his Halo movie.
No, I am going to go Blomkamp.
I'm going Blomkamp, too, because I think Blomkamp had a fucking really good idea. And I'm also mad, too, that we're not going to get his fucking Alien movie.
Still, I don't care. I'm mad right along with you, bro. I'm still pissed off about that. It makes no
bullshit. Fuck you, Ridley Scott. Fuck you. Fuck you, Ridley Scott. You're the fucking reason that didn't happen, because you wanted to fucking do Prometheus instead. Fuck both those movies. I'm just saying.
Listen, that was him trying to flex his muscles as as that seasoned director. I feel like once he got wind of, because Ridley Scott didn't want to do any Alien movies anymore, and then they start talking about Neil Blomkamp. Here comes this this District 9 guy who's got these storyboards and this great artwork and this great concept to bring back Newt Hicks and Ripley.
Oh, did you see the fucking artwork that he had for Ripley and Michael Bihn's character?
And then he just jumped up and he wanted to do it, which is bullshit. And I feel like it's really like Neil Blomkamp. He is going to become the villain at some point, man, because he keeps getting fucked over for these big ass properties, man. It happened with Alien, it happened with RoboCop Returns, and now you're telling me it happened with Halo. I didn't know he was supposed to do Halo. And as much as I wanted to see Peter Jackson do it, as much as I know you don't like the show, but I love the fact that Steven Spielberg is overseeing the project. You can tell that he's like, he doesn't have his full fingerprints on it, but he touched it a little bit. I don't want anybody to put that in the wrong context either. because because God knows we'll have some shit come out on the news, and I'll look back on this episode right here, this moment right here, and be like, I said the wrong shit. But nah, like Neil Blomkamp, he loves this sci-fi genre so much, man. I feel like he deserves Halo. Like, give some new blood to it. And did you say season 2 is going to be fucking POV?
That's the rumor.
I hope that's just a rumor. I hope in my heart that is just a rumor. I pray. I do. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. All because the fans weren't really receptive of season 1. And so they want to retool it and make it feel like a game. And that's just fucking dumb. And that's just fucking lazy. You're not really fixing the fucking problems of what made that show shit.
Wow. Just tell them how you really feel.
Man, fuck that show, dude. Like, why the fuck did Master Chief take off his fucking helmet at the first episode? Like, that doesn't make sense. That's fucking stupid.
He had to let everybody know that he was the guy from Den of Thieves. That's what he had to let everybody know. I guess they wanted to give him humanity, but I didn't want that. I don't know if they do that later on in the games, but I am cool with Master Chief being exactly what he is. Like, the humane parts are for the soldiers.
It's earned throughout, like, in 3 and 4. You know what I mean? Like, that's when the humanity's trying to come out. But, like, why would you do that? It's like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I like Pablo Scherer as an actor, but him as Master Chief, like, I just don't buy it. Fuck Master. Like,
it takes away from the mystery of Master Chief. Like, I didn't know who was under that helmet. Like, when I got my first Xbox, Halo was the game that came with it, man. And I'm telling you, that shit changed my whole gaming experience. And I was cool with Master Chief just being this creation. Going from his training sessions, from his POV, to just, yo, we at war. You got to get your shit together and figure out how to do all of this. Like, that's cool. Like, I'll leave the humanity for the character. So it was very weird when that guy just took his helmet off and he's talking to people. Yo, what's up, man? I remember back in the day.
It wasn't earned. Was not earned. I don't give a fuck.
Maybe they weren't going to make it past the pilot episode. So they were like, listen, we got to do something drastic. Take his mask off.
Drastic? You should have shot that bitch in the fucking ship. That's what you should have did. Right there. Boom. Saved you.
They did what I mean, maybe they were taking notes from Halloween. Michael Myers gets unmasked in the first movie, his first time around.
Yeah.
And guess who's under the mask?
Your boy. Your boy.
Everybody's favorite.
Your fucking boy. Fucking Tony Moran. That motherfucker. That motherfucker him. Fuck that
I feel like that's another person we are forever going to talk about. If it ain't 50 Cent, is going to be Tony fucking Moran. Yeah. His name always comes up in every fucking episode, man. I would love to have Tony Moran on our show, yo.
So you just fucking rave at him like a lunatic, like some fucking crazy fan?
I'm going to be very reserved in my questionnaire, sir. Trust me. But that'll be the episode where you just casually see me like this cup. It wouldn't be like water, but it'd be a cup that's a lot smaller with vodka in it. I'll make sure it's vodka. That shit gets me riled up, and I get the ram. So the whole time he doing the interview talking, I'm gonna just be,
Yeah, you. Oh my god! I'm just gonna be sitting here. I'm just gonna be sitting here like, yep.
As soon as that buzz kicks in, I'll be like, so let me ask you. Were you always an asshole? I will go in on that bitch, man. I don't like him. Anybody out there that likes Tony Moran, the people that are, very forgiving of Tony Moran, I applaud y'all. Can't be me, though. Fuck him. That's all I have to
say. What's your number one, bro?
My number one, if we're doing a what if list of remakes, what if these people remade this? It was no surprise. Some people probably knew that I was going to put this on my list. Now we've had an original, we've had a remake, we've had another remake, we've had a remake after that, and we've got another remake.
This one.
Huh?
I think I know where you're going now. I think this was I thought you were going to put your number 3 here, but okay. This has to be your number 1 because it's your favorite movie of all time, right?
Yeah, you know where I'm going with this. There's been plenty of remakes. There's supposed to be one on the way with Vivica Fox. My number 1 is Night of the Living Dead, and my what if directors on this list. My first pick obviously was Jordan Peele, and my second pick to piggyback that, whether it's just this person or whether it's a collective effort, is Nia DaCosta. Obviously, I picked Jordan Peele because he said that Night of the Living Dead is one of the movies that inspired him to do Get Out and made him find one of the movies that made him find his love for horror. I know Jordan Peele doesn't want to be the guy to keep latching on to. He does original stories, original properties. So I don't think Jordan Peele wants to be the guy that's going to keep latching on to, remakes or sequels to the originals and direct sequels and this, that, and the other. But if there's one thing Jordan Peele should touch, other than People Under the Stairs, because he's still supposed to be producing that or doing something with that. I don't know if it's a remake, a sequel, whatever. But I feel like it's only right. It's only fucking right, man. And if he doesn't do it, Nia DaCosta, I feel like her style of filmmaking with Candyman, I'm not even going to say so much the Marvels because I haven't seen it, but I can almost assume just based off Candyman and the Marvels, she would cast Tiana Paris in there, and I'm cool with that. I can look at Tiana Paris in any fucking movie she's in. She don't even have to have no lines of dialogue. But I just feel like Night of the Living Dead, like a modern day remake, I don't know if it will work. It could work as a period piece. I feel like a period piece eliminates all the what am I trying to say here?
Commentary? Social media?
A period piece, yeah, that's basically where I'm going. A period piece eliminates basically convenience, plot convenience. Oh, we got a cell phone, we could just call for help. Oh, we could just get online and see what's going on. Or we could just go on Google and Google the fucking cure for the virus or anything like that. A period piece gets rid of all of that shit. They didn't have this back then. They didn't have that back then. All you can do is say, we're going to go to Washington and figure this out. And, meanwhile, Washington don't know what the fuck they're talking about because they never really do. That's in real life as well. But I just feel like they are fit for the job, man. And I feel like if they do put somebody in that role of Ben, if it's not Lakeith Stanfield, then put that guy that played Obama in. I posted his picture next to Dwayne Jones from the original Night of the Dead. Put that guy that played Obama in South Side with You. He looks just like Dwayne Jones. He looks like Dwayne Jones. And put Rob Corddry as Mr. Cooper.
Oh my God.
Yes. Rob Corddry. It's either Rob Corddry or David Koechner. Is it David Koechner, the guy from
Koechner?
From Waiting?
Yeah. Rob,
where he's like, Dean, this is an exploding offer. The guy that played
he'd be more slimy about it.
Rob Corddry?
Yeah, he'd be more slimy about it. Like in the Hot Tub Time Machine, he comes off very slimy. So I think he could do that.
Rob Corddry, like I think of Rob Corddry when he was in Hot Tub Time Machine, or have you ever seen Operation Endgame?
No.
Man, it is. Oh, it's like. It's not like Smoking Aces, but they work for this branch. It's not really government. It's like an outside branch of the government, but it's kind of like a government branch. They work in this underground building, and some shit hits the fan, and they all basically try to kill each other. It's like a battle royale type of thing. But Rob Corddry's in there, and he's drinking whiskey out of a gun, like a squirt gun. He's drinking whiskey, just getting drunk the whole time. Ving Rhames is in it. Maggie Q is in it. Brandon T. Jackson's in that shit. What's that chick's name from Brooklyn's Finest? Whoever the chick is that plays the female sergeant or whatever her name.
Rosa?
What's her name?
Oh no! Oh, Amy. Amy.
Blonde-haired chick.
Blonde? Oh,
she's also in The Fan. She's in The Fan with Wesley Snipes Ellen Barkin.
Ellen Barkin.
She's always reminded me of just the nasty MILF next door who you don't want to deliver mail to. Like, if you get some of her mail, you don't want to drop it off at her crib because she's not going to let you leave. She reminds me of that type of person, which is fine.
Yeah,
it's fine.
It's fine up to the point you fucking wake up in her basement, fucking hog-tied to a fucking operating table.
No, and she was in Fear and Loathing Las Vegas. I gotta go back and watch that, man.
The waitress at the end.
She was in She Hate Me. You ever seen She Hate Me?
No.
The Spike Lee movie?
No.
Bruh. Craziest movie, man. Anthony Mackie, she fires Anthony Mackie from this big corporation. So, God damn, I can't remember that chick's name from I Think I Love My Wife. Kerry Washington comes in with her girlfriend, and she's like, that's his ex-girlfriend. So they tell Anthony Mackie, like, hey, we're a lesbian couple. We want to have a baby. So we need you to do it for us. We'll pay you. This motherfucker is getting, so he smashes both of them. Raw dog, no grease. And they like him so much, they bring clientele to his house. So now he is making a living, knocking, dumping off in these lesbians so they can have babies. But they are at his, like, a line wrapped around the block at his door. It is a crazy, fucking hilarious movie, yo. You have to see. You got to see She Hate Me. You have to. It's fucking hilarious.
This is done by Spike Lee?
Yes, it is.
Man,
everything down to Jim Brown's in there. Plays Anthony Mackie.
Ossie Davis. Q-Tip.
Ossie Davis in there.
Isaiah Whitlock Jr. Paula Dye Parkinson, this motherfucker.
Oh yeah, she's one of the girls that shows up at his crib to get pregnant, and she's a bitchy character too. Yeah, it's wild, yo, because these chicks are all having a meeting in his living room just to see what they're working with, and they pull out their checkbooks and shit. Like, he's making a living. It makes you think, like, yo, would you really do this? But he signs a contract with these women. When these kids are born, no interaction with these kids. So you got a bunch of babies just running around in this city. You sign paperwork that says, yo, you can't have anything. I'm telling you, it's probably one of his craziest movies he's done.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a Spike Lee movie.
It's wild.
A biopic.
If you see the way that, yo, might as well be, because Nick Cannon is fucking, like, he knows like he got the Mayan calendar for real. Like, he knows something's going down, and he knows exactly when, and he is just out here fucking.
Yeah, dude. Nick,
you gotta wrap it up. You gotta wrap it up or get snipped.
Oh,
you gotta get him fixed, man.
Yeah, I'm putting this one on the list too. This one's on the list.
What?
She Hate Me.
I'm telling you, man, it's so fucking crazy. You'll know it's Spike Lee when you see those certain camera angles and certain edits. Like Anthony Mackie,
the dolly tracks it. He loves that shot.
I think it's him in the middle of the street at some point, or is it him and Q-Tip or him and Jim Brown? He's talking to somebody, and they're pulling that fucking, they're pulling them along on that street. They're not even walking or moving, and they just sliding. So you in a Spike Lee movie at that point. But yeah, man, it is. I remember when I first saw it, I said the same thing. I was like, it doesn't seem like something Spike Lee would do, but it's definitely a Spike Lee movie. It's crazy. It's wild as shit. But yeah, that's my my bias number one. Night of the Living Dead. Jordan Peele, Nia DaCosta.
I think Nia DaCosta, because I feel Jordan Peele already did his Night of the Living Dead with Get Out, so I feel like it'd be redundant for him to go back and remake the movie. I think Nia DaCosta probably would benefit actually doing that movie in terms of like doing like an actual horror movie. No, not to say she hasn't. She did like Candyman, obviously, but I guess what I'm saying is like something that feels like a horror movie.
Yeah, and it would definitely be an apology for Night of the Living Dead 3D. It's fucking trash. I'm sorry. Rest in peace. Shout out to Sid Haig, but it was garbage. Night of the Living Dead Resurrection. You killed Ben in the first fucking 10 minutes of the movie. Fuck y'all for that. And then you had
main character. What the fuck?
Yo, okay, so Night of the Living Dead 3D. It's not that like it's not really that they made Ben white, because the role originally wasn't written for a black or a white person. Ben is just written to be Ben. Yeah. And Dwayne Jones so happened to get the role, but that added fuel to the fire in the late 60s because it was a lot of racism. So I guess people built on that. So Night of the Living Dead 3D, okay, Ben, they made him white, but he pulls up on a motorcycle, punches a zombie and saves Barbara, and puts her on the back of the motorcycle. They go to the farmhouse. But when he punches that zombie, his fist goes straight towards the camera in the corniest 3D shot ever. And it's just a stupid, bad fucking movie. It's terrible. And then in Night of the Living Dead Resurrection, you get an actor, you get a black guy to play Ben again, and he gets shot in the head the first 10 minutes of the movie. And I get it. I don't know if y'all wanted to reverse the shock value of him getting killed at the end and kill him in the beginning. That's the biggest fucking mistake from checking out at that point. And then the one we're getting with Vivica Fox, I don't think that's ever going to happen. And I don't think
she playing Benny. Come on, you thought that shit too. Like, is she Benny?
Look, all I'm saying is this. Vivica Fox's track record, horror movie-wise, has not been great. And it is the same director. I think it's the same guy that did, like, shit like Sharktopus and all those types of asylum movies and shit. So you already know what it's going to be hitting for. And we have another Night of the Living Dead. It's a Night of the Living Dead sequel coming, a direct sequel. And the black chick that wrote, I think one of the writers of The Walking Dead is doing that. And I don't know what the fuck is going on with that. I DM'd her months ago to try to interview her just to get the inside scoop on the new Night of the Living Dead, and I don't think she ever saw it.
Vivica Fox has not done anything substantial since. Holy shit, Boat Trip really fucking tanked everyone's careers.
Because it was trash. Like, I remember seeing that bullshit, not in the theater or nothing, but I remember when it came out, that movie's crazy as fuck, man. The concept is like, okay, they tried to make something funny out of these guys accidentally getting on a gay cruise. And Rosalind Sanchez is fine as hell, but the movie just sucks. Like, I remember that movie being real corny. That guy, I think the guy from Mad TV was in there.
Horatio Sands.
Is that who that was?
Yeah, Horatio Sands.
Yeah, that movie. It's just a wild fucking movie, and I don't remember it being too good. But Vivica Fox, man. I mean, she was in Independence Day Resurgence, but it's not really a big plus. That shit was trash. That shit was garbage.
That was all bad. All right. Okay. So, they're counting us down. They're counting us down. Okay, so that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That was our What If directors directed these movies.
It was.
You'll be seeing this on Sunday morning on Zuko's Corner YouTube channel. So please go over there and subscribe, blah, blah, blah. We will see you back on the 29th.